remember the last time I saw something like this happen.
Yeah, I run into Exander in ranked every now and then.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, but like Ribz, I guess I just like, I don't know if I'm like dodging or what, but
yeah, he's still, I don't see him in ranked as much as I used to. Tira / Cassandra player, if it's anything like the other times that I've seen him play, he'll play Tira until it stops working, and then he'll go to Cassandra. It's also kind of a shame because he's talked about trying to play Amy, and I know from experience and what Exander has told me is that he gets very confused as to what he's supposed to do against Amy. So I would have been excited to see that, but alas.
I mean, yeah, you never know. It might come up. I mean,
yeah,
right now Exander's doing just fine, though. Oh, well, as soon as I say it, you get surfboarded into a low. You only got one more hit left, and the jumping attack gets 5-8.
You never know when Gloomy Tira is on board. Fantastic backdash killer. One of, if not the absolute best AAs in the game. Tons of gigantic tools all the way up until you switch to Jolly again, and then your damage is just nothing again.
Alright, well, got the whole thing. Yeah, it's so funny too, because like Gloomy Tira is still doing work, even though it's like you only got like the one stack, but just as long as you're still stuck in the Gloomy Tira, everything's good.
Yeah, it's always kind of tough because very similar to other ramp mechanic characters, there's a little bit of a sacrifice that you have to make with regards to, are you going to be going for your ramp mechanic in which you're probably going to be sacrificing the ability to get the early rounds, or do you go the other way and try to get the early rounds, which a lot of times people will end up going for, but man, if you don't get that round, then you're really in a stuck situation. Doesn't really look like Ribz has had to deal with that situation at all, though.
No, yeah, I mean, like, you got the early round, right? Like, you got... but the thing is, it's so interesting, too, because, like, not a single break attack is connected, so you can't, like, force the switch. No RNG has really gone outside of Ribz's favor. Yeah. Like, you're still in Gloomy, been in Gloomy this whole time.
Yeah, I guess if you don't have to worry about it, he tries to catch out there. There it is. But at this point, yeah, he can decide to go for stance transitions all day because he has so much time to burn. Exander trying to give himself as wide of a berth as possible so that he can get... Ooh, nice auto GI there. He's giving himself as wide of a berth as possible in order to allow Ribz to whip and then whip punish accordingly.
Yeah, and just staying outside of the gunshot range. I mean, like, okay, very... quick teleport in just out of nowhere. I wasn't ready for it, but, you know.
Yeah, and now that I think about it, I wonder if he actually wanted that. I wonder if what he wanted was a soul attack, or if he wanted something else entirely. In either case, yeah, this is one of... Okay, so he's going to be able to get this CE punish, and I'm pretty sure it's going to kill.
I feel very confident in skills.
I feel very confident as well. Okay,
yes.
Good. But he does end up getting 2 additional stance transitions just off of that CE alone. And so he's in Jolly, which is the best possible situation for Exander to be in. And it looks like he's taking it super slowly now. He's just trying to allow Ribz to kill himself. But the problem is that he had to spend a lot of meter just to get that first round.
Yeah,
and that's it.
I was gonna say, you know, unfortunately, you do have to spend that meter just to get that round because, like, at that point, you're literally fighting to stay alive. Yeah. But you know, sometimes you're up against the ledge, you miss a GI, and you get launched immediately.
Yeah, he just ended up trying to take a bet on a string that frankly was a little bit too much. I mean, that is the classic situation with the 6-6 AA in Soul Charge from Jolly Tira, where it's just like, it is to GI or not GI, but even if he decided not to GI, that wasn't going to kill him. So I feel like it was a bit too risky given the stage situation. In either case, I think Exander, if he just takes it slowly and just keeps shooting his opponent in the face, it'll work out a little bit better than the first game.
Well, I mean, like, you know, like, talking about the shooting the opponent in the face thing, like, the mix-up on the low mid has actually been pretty successful so far throughout the set. Like, I know, obviously, Ribz won the first game, but, like, that's something important to establish. Oh, wow, the sidestep A-slide beat, the cross. I love that move, by the way. That's one of my favorites about this move.
Yeah, I gotta say, oh man, you would have loved SE5 though. Jeez.
Yeah, no, don't worry, I know. I'm aware.
Yeah, that move was completely unbelievable. Created one of the most lopsided matchups in all of SE history, shoutouts to SVI. But it really seems like overall, I think the thing that's kind of separating the two is that the aggression on Ribz is significantly more successful than Exander. Not that surprising. Cervantes is la-di-da.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, you gotta test somebody every now and then, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's honestly a tough tech trap to get out of, because unlike something like Ivy, who has a very similar situation with her unblockables, there's like... You can just backtech and get out of like both situations. As far as I know, there is no thing that just 100% gets out of that unblockable slash like mix-up situation from Cervantes. I might be wrong, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, maybe we'll get a chance for Ribz to try it again at some point. But
every time Ender J. Oh no.
The teleport.
Into force block.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like Ribz is just whiffing too much, and he's getting a little bit too crazy. I say that, and then Exander whiffs.
Yeah, and then immediate mix-up potential here off the soul charge, too. Oh, okay, beautiful.
I really wish that he didn't go... He went for that 2-2A, which I really feel was unnecessary. It was clear that Exander was just kind of staying put. I feel like Ribz should have tried to exert the pressure of that unbreakable grab a lot more. And then it just kind of like, he just decided to do it as like a panic thing at the very end, but it is a steppable command grab, so it's not as powerful as one may think. I think Ribz should have given Exander the credit that he was just going to clamp down and not necessarily go for the gold there.
For sure. Well, I mean, you know, may come back to haunt here at this point. Regardless, the stage switch, thanks to the online challenge rules, you can choose the stage. But
yeah,
what a step on your wake up!
Decided to go with the stage with all the range in the world. I would love to see some sort of like data set to see like when people have picked the stage in this setting, how often this stage specifically gets picked, because I'm pretty sure it's quite a lot. Virtually any.
Yeah, you want to stand
you
switch,
should not have gotten a headache there, yo. that was your mistake.
Yeah. You chose the RNG life, and now you
hard sidestepping yet again. I mean, the most damaging 3B. I mean, obviously this isn't necessarily the 100% combo. Decides not to cash out the gunshot lethal hit yet. He'll probably wait until he has the bar.
Yeah, I mean, like, tried to use it right there, but the gunshot lethal hit on that combo would have been like way too scaled. It just wouldn't have been worth it at that point. But yeah, now you have this lethal hit on deck here as well because of it. Yeah, just going for it left and right. Exander might want it a little bit too much actually, because Ribz just got I want to say like a third of Exander's life. Yeah, see, it just.
All right, Exander's doing this thing where he's like not trying to win. He's just trying to do like this one thing. It is important to note that if he gets it off right now, he wins. So I was gonna say, Ribz was effectively one gunshot away, but as long as he just kept it safe and kept it clamped down, he would be fine. Exander being kind of a jerk, not actually playing Soulcalibur, but it's working out now.
I mean, you gotta bully people in Soulcalibur, son. This is what life is like. Oh no!
What happened there? Why did he get hit by that? Anyway. Kind of the worst situation that could have happened.
Probably?
Yeah, he got a stance transition right at the end there, so he doesn't end up starting in Gloomy, which is definitely where you want to go. Decides to spend a soul charge. You kind of normally want to spend that for a soul attack, but yeah, this is okay. Here we go.
I mean, you're in soul charge state regardless, so like, you know, as long as you're able to get the mix up, you got. I mean, like, look at the damage, right? Now you're gonna just get the interrupts in the 5As, although the wall rising A.
Is okay. I was gonna say, I wonder how Exander was gonna spend his bonus bar. I mean, the round is, I mean, I don't want to say virtually lost, but now it is. But okay, we're starting this in Gloomy. There's no way. I mean, there's a very rare chance that he's gonna go with Coda, but starting off in Gloomy is definitely the way to go. 1 bar to 2, all the space in the world. Oh no, you gotta not. Oh man, that's so much damage.
Yeah, and then the soul attack activation too, forcing the soul charge here from Ribz just to try and stay alive. Look at the command throw! Look at the damage, dude.
Oh. Jolly too. 1K. Oh, he gets up in the second part.
Yeah, unfortunate right there. Yeah.
6-6 not gonna give you enough frames in order to sidestep there. And honestly, I just feel like partially Exander had to warm up, and then second partially, I feel like he was getting a little bit rambunctious in the first game, and Ribz was able to do what he wanted to do and just win the game in blindingly fast fashion. And then Exander just decided, like, okay, if I just, like, calm it down, allow my opponent to whiff, that's what happened in the second game. Cut to the third game, where he's just being a big-time jerk all over the place.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, A6B was, like, barely used by comparison to what you normally get to see, but, like, that matchup was just played a different way, and so, yeah. I mean, now we got Feremuntrus. I'm not sure who they're playing.
Ooh, is this Lyonide? I thought I saw Lyonide was like part of the thing. No, it's not. Feremuntrus and RubberBeefMan.
Oh, okay. Oh, Z right there.
Yeah. That's gonna kill, right? I think it is.
I don't think it is.
No? You would know better than me.
Did he have a curse? Yeah, okay. I was like, I'm not entirely sure that'll kill. But, I mean, if he had a curse, there's a chance.
Yeah, I didn't think he did. Oh boy, here comes Xianghua. Oh no.
Yeah, let go of the grenade. Oh, 6-6A hold right there, and unfortunately they walked directly into it.
You know what would have been really cool is, can Xianghua see that Feremuntrus that Zasalamel is going into the reversal edge, knowing that like he's definitely going to cancel it into the bubble burst, and then just CE him on reaction. Like, is there a big enough gap between the RE and the like removing the RE to do the snap?
If you're close enough, absolutely. If you're close enough, absolutely. If you're too far away, cool. I highly doubt that it would connect. But sure. Yeah, that's an obvious like point. But I've definitely been hit out of the in-between of RE and RE cancel before, like multiple times. And not even like I-12s, right? Like,
yeah, you don't even necessarily need it. I think all RE cancels are effectively like that, right? I mean, the only thing that really traps people from trying to interrupt in between, assuming that you didn't connect with anything, is if you were pressing a move or you end up just like getting your sidestep caught by one of those weird horizontal versions of RE cancels.
Oh god, it hurts.
Oh man, you tried to hit that crybaby so hard.
Yeah, for sure. And you know that's what happens when you get hit by fake combos, right? Is like if the opponent is just like not trying to like ukemi off of 2A plus B, then they explode. Although was that 4? I forget. That might have been 4-6B tap, and if that was the case, then that might have been a real combo. But
so I got another match coming up, but we're trying to fix some part of the broadcast technology.
Yeah, I'm good.
Hey, it happens. The stream light sucks, man.
Yeah, you can do on a match. I just need to figure out how to control the volume. That's all.
Oh yeah.
Next version, I'll do something that makes that easier.
No, the right click is good though. I like that because I don't want to accidentally mouse over. You know.
Yeah, that was
actually good. I said no, you can right click.
All right, sweet. All right, next up is going to be Lyonide versus Yoki.
Oh, okay.
Yoki has not competed in one of these in a while, I feel like. Is Thermidor not even part of this? It's weird to see Yoki and not Thermidor.
I think mostly due to her work schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah,
seems like everybody was available this Friday, and I'm always very interested to see some of our international players show up for these things. I know they definitely play with a much stricter handicap than our the people who have a much better connection to the Parsec server, and so I'm always happy to see the international people who damn the cost and just decide, let me do this because when's going to be the next opportunity that we can actually play against the Americans? Apparently not in NEC because travel restrictions were weird.
Hey, sometimes you just want to play some Caliber, and if you got to play on Parsec from like several countries away, you just do it.
Some people are totally fine with it. Neon, totally fine with it. Ganondorf was one of the first people. He was on. He was the first international person that I had on War of the Roses, and I remember trying to set that up at about like 1:30 in the morning, and being like, no, there's no like. He offered, and I thought that he was joking, like. Because I needed a replacement, like one of the at the last minute, and he was like, "Dude, you should just let me on War of the Roses." And I was like, "That's really funny." And then I was like, "Oh man, who am I gonna get?" And he was like, "No, I'm serious. Like I'll play." I'm like, I mean, it's
just let me play.
And we tried it, and he was like, "Yeah, it feels fine." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay, then." Give it a try. And we had who did we have? We had Ganondorf from France versus Manta from California, from SoCal, I think.
Yeah, the only way you would ever see that matchup happen is right there because of that.
That or Evo, I guess.
Oh yeah. I'm
only two ways that
online.
Yeah. Or is Manta from NorCal? Actually, I think Manta's from NorCal. But in either case, Lyonide, who I believe is from the UK, versus Yoki, who is from the NY.
Yeah, letters. I can spell too.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Well, I mean, I can spell to an extent, for sure.
Yeah, TWO, TOO.
What do those mean?
Depends. Depends on which one we're talking about.
Alright, before we're getting into it.
Yeah,
so we got Yoki, Lyonide.
I can only imagine that Yoki has a pretty solid amount of experience with this matchup in the form of Jordan, in the form of Incendiate at the very least. But from what I understand, this is I would imagine this can be a relatively difficult matchup for Xianghua. That's just my guess. But getting in can be tough, and dealing with the guard damage can be tough.
Well, yeah, but how
It doesn't
does
look like it's tough for Lyonide.
I was gonna say, how does Seong like deal with Xianghua when she actually makes it in though? That's the thing. Like,
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, you
this
do have the
character's-
4-4K. I mean, to deal with any of the horizontals, you can potentially bet something off of an auto GI. And having a traditional 2A for a long-range character like that has always been something I find particularly frustrating dealing with Mina when I'm playing a getting character.
I can agree with that for sure. But like, I mean, you can watch Lyonide right here. Notice how a lot of this is counter hits, right? Like Lyonide just like catches Yoki on her timing, like left and right so far. Although the 1B is coming in, you are indeed open.
And 1B on block in the 6A. This is tough stuff. Okay, here we go. Sometimes this is all it takes. You've got the knockdown. He gets a bit of the... Yeah, Yoki is just totally comfortable just taking that damage and putting it back into a neutral situation
Ooh,
to get
6A.
that errant 6A. And that's going to seal the deal. So Lyonide, I feel like, needs... Oh, jeez, it's running into that 3B, but I think Lyonide needs to try and find this way where it's like you're not really going to be dealing with mid-range all that much against this character. I don't think that Xianghua's going to be able to pull that off. Wow, still got tracked.
Oh yeah, got the stun combo as well. Just gonna that weird air control juggle.
I've never seen that combo before.
I don't know how intentional every part of that was, but you know what? I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt for that. But, okay, playful.
I respect Lyonide's attempt at trying to make it weird and like take away that soul charge timing. It just didn't really work out. Is that minus 12? No.
I mean, I'm not gonna say it's not minus 12, but at the same time, that
I'm
seemed
not
like a
sure.
weird area to do it. But you know,
I actually
mean,
feel like it is minus 12 and I'm just stupid. Oh no, getting caught out of the soul attack, that really blows. Losing your free meter.
oh, the GI on the 1B this time. Yeah, I mean, you don't. Lyonide has been getting bullied by these 1Bs, and like, interestingly enough, I totally forgot about one aspect of this matchup is that Crybaby is completely ineffectual versus a Seong because of 1B.
Oh, sure, yeah. 1B, I would imagine that 4-4B could probably beat it up pretty heavily too.
Yeah, I think she's probably got like a lot of options for that in general.
Yoki did uppercut on hit into uppercut. I think she assumed the first one was going to give her the wall and it didn't end up happening, but I just thought it was really funny. I was like, oh yeah, you're still gonna try and press buttons? Nah, I'm gonna press this uppercut again.
Oh. Almost cut the back grab command throw, but yeah, that's blocked for sure. Soul charge out, both in soul charge. In that exact range with the 6As, the 1Bs, you know, but there it is.
Lyonide is just a little bit too comfortable trying to press in that situation. I kind of wish that he wasn't, but he's got a solid chance of getting this round. Is that going to do it? This does more damage than I typically expect, but it is going to be scaled, right?
Yeah, you do think it's scaled. You know, it's off a command throw and all that, especially because it was off of a guard break too. So like, it was off the break attack command throw setup. So like, that has to like be. Oh, what a playful stance right there. Good lord.
Yeah, I gotta say, two things. Like, I want to really congratulate both of them. So when the Xianghua CE worked and we were dealing with that Oki, Lyonide specifically went for the B plus K B as like the way that he was getting, which stuffs soul charges, and I appreciated the fact that Yoki got up, blocked, waited for that moment, and then pressed soul charge. Very smart on her, and then having that fantastic tech crouch lethal hit, obviously, to finish the game for Lyonide. That was really smart as well. So I thought really good plays on both players.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if this went down to the wire, I would not be surprised at all. This is looking real close in most aspects. I mean, this round was obviously starting out for Yoki, but oh no, big RE whiff right there because it was the low grab, so it didn't interact with it. Gonna fake out the stomp and everything. And look at this comeback. Oh, and then catching the backstep.
Xianghua, probably one of, if not the stickiest characters in the entire game. It really only takes one opportunity to get in there. Fantastic cancel to get out of there as well. Some of these verticals are just not pressing very well at all. We're just going for 1,000,000 miles a minute with all these stance cancels.
Yeah, Lyonide is 100% the person just like stance canceling left and right and catching you trying to stop. But
and every once in a while he like falls for like this kind of stuff where he ends up getting hit by the 4-4.
The classic.
That's mean to do against somebody who's across the sea. Like, I don't know. That seems very mean to me.
Nah. We play to win out here, son.
Yeah, you're right.
America.
It is for one of the opponents.
Yeah, well, welcome to America.
Yeah, see, like, I just feel like Lyonide gets a little bit too comfortable just waiting around in the mid-range sometimes, and it really is like the way that Yoki is getting a lot of the damage. Meanwhile, these in-close sidesteps are really the way that Lyonide is getting his damage.
Yeah, well, I mean, especially with the stance cancel and everything. Oh, beautiful reaction right there. You're talking about having to play out Parsec reaction over the sea, and then you see that kind of thing. Like, I feel like they're not terribly injured right now. But Oki's coming up. Oh,
Really tough.
3A.
Lyonide has definitely figured the fact that when Lyonide is in Yoki's face, in a lot of those high-pressure situations, Yoki has decided to clamp up as much as possible, and it's giving Xianghua plenty of opportunities to add layers upon layers to this Oki situation. Meanwhile, if Yoki frankly just mashed a little bit more off, I mean, I know it's scary, but if she mashed a little bit more often in those situations, she would get out of a lot of them scot-free.
I mean, that is the hard part, though, is like trying to figure out when you can press those buttons, and is it something where I need to press a horizontal or a vertical, especially because of the stance cancel, right? So like, is it going to be, are you going to tech crouch under it, or are you going to sidestep it? Like,
Nice block. No,
that's too far, right? Yeah, okay. I was about to lose it.
I think you just wanted to like get like the punish off of something if she did not have the ability. If she wasn't in Soul Charge, then it would have definitely been a punish. But we're in a very similar situation that we were in with Exander versus Ribz, where now we've got all meter versus no meter, but we do have a little hit here. So suddenly the no meter isn't necessarily a reality anymore.
Yeah, well, I mean, you only got half the bar right now. You still can't use, like, Soul Charge or anything, so you gotta pick and choose your spots really well. I mean, and... Okay, yeah, I mean, that's 6A, 1B. This is great, because now you get to push Xianghua out, and you don't have to play that game anymore.
A lot of
Hell sweep again.
momentum out of those jump Ks. There's a jump move. You gotta spin your meat. No, that's not... Well, I guess maybe it could be a counter hit, and it is. Okay, I mean... Into fantastic Oki that could potentially stuff a Soul Charge. You're dead to another Xianghua CE. Gets the grab.
The tech. No, did you press the button? Oh, so sorry. Okay. Breathe. Okay, backed up right here. Lyonide barely any life right now. The playful stance. Here's the mix-up on this one. Up against the wall. One more, and there's the low! Off the Ukemi. Oh my god, dudes.
Incredibly tight games all around. Both of them coming down to as much of a tenuous wire as you could possibly have. Man, it really came down to the fact that Lyonide in a lot of those places during the match in the mid-range, when they were getting comfortable in the mid-range and then getting smacked by Yoki, that very much did not happen at the very end. And again, once Lyonide was in, Yoki just clamped up and provided opportunities for Lyonide to just put layers into that Oki, into those mix-ups, and Yoki wasn't able to guess right, and that sucks.
Yeah, that is the fun part, is the guessing game when you get into it.
Yep, that's the life of a character that's slower, you know. I always say, it's crazy that a character like Seong has a traditional 2A, but that's obviously not going to be enough to beat a really in-close character a lot of times.
Well, do you expect her to like have a big body 2A, like, or where it's a true low?
I mean, yeah, honestly, it wouldn't be the most surprising thing to me thematically, or something like Ivy, something where a longer range character like that, who already also has, well, now that I think about it, a traditional, like, Hell Sweep low is a really powerful tool for a long-range character like Seong to have. That being said, it was nerfed since the beginning of the game, so I guess it's not that big of a deal anymore. But I just mean to say that a character archetype of Mina having a traditional 2A can normally grant pause to a short-range mix-up-y type character. It's something that you have to deal with. Like, plus
okay, yeah, no, I just wanted to clarify, because I was this is like the thought on that. But
that's always the like when I play, because I traditionally play very short range mix up-y type characters, and to have to do
hot minute, right?
man.
On the not only this community here for the Soulcalibur, but like you know, but pretty much every game in general, right? Like the FTC in general, and Matcherino has done such a great job of bringing all that stuff to us. You know, we've got the Matcherino right now. There's 3 promo codes. You guys can see how much we have right there at the bottom of your screen. So interestingly enough, you no longer need to use the code, but the code is there.
Yeah.
Because there is a button. You just click it, you sign in, and you donate free money to the Matcherino, right? So
It was a very smart addition to their interface that was relatively new to just, you don't necessarily need to memorize the code, you can just put it in. You don't have to constantly change Nightbot notifications for like the new code every week and stuff. And so,
absolutely.
Shout outs to the people at Match Arena for putting that in. Smart stuff.
Yep.
Constantly making improvements.
Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, my actual Match Arena account is almost at 400,000 raised for the FGC.
Jeez, dude.
Yeah,
like, goddamn.
I'm waiting.
I'm kind of surprised and also not surprised with the
You
amount.
shouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
Yeah.
8's just such a high number. Right?
Yeah, it is.
Actually, like, it'll probably be 500K because, you know, I obviously helped out some accounts and were my own. Where it's like, I had them set up an account and then I'll stream. Like, for example, like if you add DEUS Excalibur, DEUS X Kylo, sorry. That's like 5,000 right there or something. 6,000.
That's more, I think.
Yeah, more than
like
that. More than that.
7K, actually.
Yeah. Or if you count Jazzy Circuit, that's like another 7K. You know, that was on Mutant's account. So it was probably over 500K.
You can help Art get up to 500K if by checking out the Matcherino and putting in those
guys,
free
please,
codes right
please,
there.
please
Also,
make sure.
there's
Please make sure
sponsorship quests as well.
Make sure to use all the promo codes and sponsor quests, guys. I just donated $20 because we got a late start. So yeah, guys, helps out the players and want to see next level and some of the cloud server parsec costs. Remember, guys, this is community oriented, so at least take some time to click the codes and the sponsor quests.
Just want to say shout outs to the people who helped me get the one Matcherino I did for a slip out tournament to like $500.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, that's sick.
That's really funny to me. It all happened before the tournament started. That was great because I kept doing stretch goals of like, okay, if you guys get a certain amount of money in here, I'll buy signs for everybody in Spanish. And I think what ended up happening is that the winner got like a gigantic sign.
Wow.
Second place got a slightly smaller sign, and then everybody else in top 8 got a slip out or caution while slippery sign that was in Spanish, except for one person who got it in Mandarin.
Yeah,
I think that's funny.
What's up, brother?
That was a great tale of the slip out
and swords.
Exactly. Souls and swords and slippery floors and
eternally
everything.
Re-slipped.
Yeah. We're getting the first match of winners quarterfinals up on stream now. That's going to be Incendiate versus Word.
Cool.
I like this. Okay.
Yo, Ian. So I gotta put you on the spot for a sec. So so Flycast has Soulcalibur 1 rollback. When's the tournament?
Yeah.
When we doing something?
So I'll be honest. I feel like for my own sanity, it's best if I leave it to the young folks. Muted Knight.
Muted reached out. Muted reached out.
Okay. Yeah, he's really enthusiastic about running all the legacy Soulcalibur stuff. So.
I'll do one with him then. He contacted me, so like I just have to tell him when I'm available. But the nice thing about Fightcade is, I know the Caliber guys haven't played on it much, so I'll tell you a little bit. It's like you can see all the replays as they're happening, so you can spectate everything. So it's like all this parsec stuff that Ian is doing is not necessary on that. Also you can even set up private lobbies for a tournament and stuff, so like you don't get like random people cluttering shit up. It's pretty nice actually. So I can't wait to see it actually. Like Soulcalibur with rollback. Finally.
Well, I have played it.
How is it?
It is exactly what you think. It feels like nothing wrong is happening. Yeah. It's just like playing on a regular emulator with, basically perfect.
That's amazing.
Netcode until it desyncs.
Yeah, of course. Sure. Oh yeah, so
I mean that's the nature of some of those things though. Like you're gonna get desyncs in a lot of like situations.
Yeah. Alright, Incendiate and Word. Sorry. Word
so
is
it definitely has Word would be the Ivy player on the left.
Yeah, there is a chance we could see an Ivy mirror. But,
I was actually surprised that we're not seeing an Ivy mirror.
I'm not expecting it right now personally, but that's just me.
Yeah, it's just Incendiate has been really about the fact that he wants to be able to go into NEC with 2 characters, and he's really been at the NLBC that was just last weekend. He decided to go all Ivy all the time, and so I was kind of expecting. But also, there's not a lot of people who like mirror matches, so I guess it's not entirely surprising.
Oh yeah, dude, I used to love mirror matches. I used to like mirror match character, like people with my like tertiary characters versus their main, because I was like, I think I know how to do this like all the time.
Yeah.
But, you know,
I mean, if it's an Astaroth mirror, I'm all about it. Or if it's a Voldo mirror, I'm kind of about it. But like Ivy, I mean, I can barely stand, especially now. I can barely stand one Ivy on screen, let alone two of them.
you know, I mean, you got word right here. Unfortunately, up against the wall already, wall splat. Incendiate going for big damage here. And the Oki could just be a resplat, depending, but goes for command grab. It immediately gets teched into the soul charge.
Pull this off. Okay, he gets a very, very solid amount of damage here. Ends up going a little bit up close in order to get the mix-up. Decides correctly against Incendiate's mash. Now we are one hit away from both players.
Yeah, I mean, it was real good at first just to stay on the ground, but then stopping the movement right there. We're just going for the easy combo after it. Yeah, I mean, like, it showed that Incendiate was like, okay, I think I know to stay on the ground here, because I think I know exactly what you're going for. But then Word was like, okay, that's fine. You know, you're too far away to really do anything, so I'm just going to stop your forward movement.
Man, I gotta say, it really stinks that Word ended up getting a stage like this. Fantastic auto GI. Yeah, decides to immediately spend the meter and exert his his meter advantage in order to screw it around. But exactly. Yeah, tough match with regards to the stage. Not a lot of room to work with for Word, and no ring outs can definitely be bad news bears. Not to mention Xianghua, at least in my opinion, significantly stronger on the walls than Ivy would be. So, ended up making it work. Every once in a while, Word has these like, little spurts where he gets a gigantic amount of damage.
Yeah, and I mean, there's also the failings of being unable to like zone the character out in such a small stage as well.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Got counter hit on that one. Oh, what?
Nice try.
No.
Nice try.
Bruh.
Not to mention, on top of it, it's very difficult to fight someone with their main character. It is a very tough thing. I guess at this point, Xianghua would be considered Incendiate's main character, but he's about as back and forth as one can get. He would definitely be the person to talk to with regards to Ivy stuff. He decides to rematch. I am very surprised by that. I wonder why he wouldn't want a different stage to give him ring outs, to give him more room to breathe. But hey, I'm not an Ivy player.
Sometimes, you know, people are very comfortable, right? Like, so you can.
Yeah, I guess so.
And I mean, got double counter hit right there. Try to go. Okay, well, I mean, 4A plus B is gonna work out at the very least. Didn't auto GI, but hey, we'll take it.
It's like every time Word potentially gets a hit, Incendiate's option is to mash some sort of a button, and it's very difficult to deal with a character like Xianghua, who basically has an option for everything. It's not really like Ivy gets an absurd amount of frame advantage on some of her hits, and even when she does, she typically uses it to back off, which you can't really do in a lot of these tight spots. So it's just an endless amount of pressure from Incendiate right now. We're getting a handful of like really solid opportunities, but ends up getting hit by that lethal hit. It ends up, well, wow, okay. The combo dropped, and we decided to immediately go to a 3B, which works.
Like Incendiate 2 was trying to get the wall splat off of it, like was trying to do everything to like just bring it back, and then like nothing would wall splat, nothing would work out, and just had to keep just getting out of nowhere 3Bs basically. And okay, you know, Incendiate on set point now. I mean, Word's got meter that's got to be spent at this point. 4A plus B at round start. What are you looking for?
Yeah, this is definitely one of those very confident Incendiate moments where he's just going to go all out the whole time, and it's going to feel impossible to fight it. He finally gets that wall splat, does not get the combo because this stage has decided it despises Incendiate.
I also think that maybe like Incendiate was expecting it to not connect, so it was not expecting wall splat and go for a different combo, but that's my guess.
Yeah, so they couldn't just let Ivy's Soul Charge wait it out at this point.
Oh,
okay. So we're deciding to fully cash it. He's still in Soul Charge. I don't actually know if this Oki gets even better with Soul Charge. I can only imagine it does.
Well, you do get the extended, you do get the extended string on that, where you would not have it otherwise, and especially because it's like delayed, you know, that's like the hardest part to deal with too, because you're like, okay, I blocked this thing that normally has 0 follow-ups, right? And you pretty much, most people are not exactly aware of Xianghua Soul Charge.
No,
so
not really.
They don't really understand like the strings and stuff like that. You know, I'm one of them. Like if a Xianghua did that to me on my wake up, I would probably get hit by that exact same thing counter hit, because I would try to take my turn back, and because of that factor, it's death, right? Like, I mean, that's exactly what happened. You know, got counter hit on it and just finished it off.
especially with the fact that, again, we're talking about a situation where you're already guessing for your life with regards to a low/mid. You're effectively guessing for your life in two different ways, because she has ways of catching if you try to roll away, and ways that don't. And then on top of it, you have to be correct about the mid-low if you end up just getting up and blocking. And he was correct, but because he was in Soul Charge, there was like a third layer to the mix on top of everything. And so that's just it's a real tough pick. I honestly, again, if Word ends up seeing this, I would try a different stage against Xianghua. I would want to try and like get a situation where you could potentially get some ring outs. Xianghua ring outs, not exactly the most impressive in my eye. And you could get a little bit much of a bigger stage as well. It could end up going a lot differently. You never know.
Your logic sound is sound to me, but you know I'm just gonna be real. I don't feel myself to be knowledgeable enough to say that like that was like a bad stage, but like I can see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. To be honest, same thing with me. As anybody who has seen my stream recently, I am not an Ivy player. So what do I know? But also, who can say?
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got Feremuntrus and Exander coming up next.
Oh, let's go! I get to talk about Zasalamel.
So yeah, so I'll leave the majority. Zasalamel is not one of the characters I've played so far. And yeah, I was wondering what Exander's going to do. Is he going to go with Hilda or Cervantes? He's not going to go with Azwel. Stop pretending like you're going to go with Azwel. You're going to go with Cervantes.
Yeah.
The only reason why he's going to pick a different character is because I just said it. That's the only reason why he's going to pick a character other than Cervantes. Okay, so he decides to go with Cervantes. Now, when I did play Cervantes a little bit, I was told by a lot of Cervantes players, Anders J included, that this matchup is a very comfortable matchup for Cervantes. That it is a matchup that if Feremuntrus, if Zasalamel effectively tries to disrespect the frame advantage that he inherently creates with his strings, he can get punished about as hard as humanly possible. And that can be a very difficult thing for Zasalamel to handle.
Yeah, so like, imagine like Zasalamel's normal damage, right? Like you're normally getting damage race hardcore and you can't keep up with Zas. Cervantes in those situations just like it just matches him, right? So it's like it's one of the few times where the strengths of Zasalamel's like average like 4-6B counter hit damage is like is no longer like something to behold.
Yeah, comparable as opposed to like, I've got this as a positive quality over my opponent.
Mm-hmm. And then he already pulls in Cervantes, basically into Cervantes' wheelhouse, right? Because of, like, the 6A and whatnot, 3A. And, then you start having to deal with things like 2A plus B versus Cervantes, and that gets really weird. So, like, you're noticing the way that, like, Feremuntrus is playing this is he's not really taking the frames that he normally gets himself, right? Like, he's just waiting a couple of seconds, and then he's trying to catch time. Because, like, trying to fight... Yeah, exactly. Oh, no, you tagged...
Tech trap on top of it. He does have a little bit of a meter advantage. I doubt that it's going to really come into play all that much at the moment, but I guess at this point it's just a matter of Exander trying to read the kind of timings, the awkward timings that Feremuntrus was being set up, like you were talking about, and decided to jamming a little bit more. Because if you end up just jamming small moves into those situations a little bit more often, even though that's not necessarily Cervantes' strong suit, it could potentially be a fantastic way to go about it. Instead of getting caught with that, oh, he got the block, but he doesn't punish. Oh, yeah, that's a real shame. It's difficult to punish that move. At least for me, I find it very difficult to punish whatever the input is for Zasamel's Soul Charge.
Yeah, it's 1AB. 1AB.
Yes, there you go.
So it is you want to punish before the third hit comes out, because the second hit is a high and then the third is the mid vertical, right? So like you can either punish before the third hit or you can decide to step the third hit because it is a vertical, right? So those are your choices.
I gotta say, some of the tech crouch / tech jump situations that Feremuntrus has put into this match so far have been really impressive, and you really only need one or two of those situations for for Zasalamel to effectively win the entire round. Oh no, but is he end up gonna get... Okay, he ends up getting... I appreciated the fact that he got the wall rising punish that was supposed to be a block punish, despite the fact he did not actually block the move. That's very impressive to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was ready to do it. It just didn't
ended up being a whip punish, not a block punish.
Yeah. I mean, wall rising KB is just that. Oh, but yeah, there is one of the flaws for 6B plus K is that the second hit is always going to be something that you kind of want to fuzzy duck, right? Like if you twitch duck, you're going to be okay, because if he doesn't do it, you're not going to get punished. But if he does do it, you explode him. So
Oh man, Feremuntrus, sorry. I just he had a really fantastic opportunity. He just ended up whiffing it. I feel like that was supposed to be that Wall Rising K, I think it is, for like the whiff punish, and I think that's going to give Exander his second round. Feremuntrus is going to have a lot of meter for the last round.
Yeah, Feremuntrus is kind of
actually going to kill. Oh, no, I spoke too soon.
Well, the problem is Yoki, right? Okay. Oh yeah, see, there it is, right there. We talked about that earlier. There is a big delay in between the RE and the cancel itself. So when you're up close, you do have that chance to stop him.
I feel like Feremuntrus has to use his meter punish immediately. Oh, fantastic duck in the punish. There's so few characters that actually get a punish there, not because it's like difficult to punish with regards to the frames, but just because of the range. Not really a problem for Cervantes. Oh, Feremuntrus is kind of whiffing this. It ends up getting a block, but no punish, and then I don't know what Feremuntrus is doing. He needs to spend his meter.
Oh, yeah, well, up against the ledge right now, it's like, how are you going to be spending the bar at this point, Soul Charge, just to keep yourself out of the negative frame situation? I mean, you got to watch out from any of these buttons that Exander can exude. The 1A comes out finally, 3A, B. Didn't finish the full string, so didn't get a knockdown, but now you have the restand. Right? Okay, pull him back in. You have no more, but there's the CE! Big damage on this because you're in guts, yeah!
Is he dead?
He's
not dead,
I don't know.
I don't think
know. I don't think so.
I'm gonna say no.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just enough. A 1B will kill. A little bit of a hop, but there's a lot of stuff that Exander can potentially kill with. A-slide B.
Oh, the 4A is gonna catch out of the air!
Fantastic choice. I think Exander got a little bit ambitious with his B-slide K, but it ends up working out. Oh, man.
So I just saw the greatest news in the Discord.
What happened?
Feremuntrus was playing on Wi-Fi that entire match.
So that's really fun.
So because of the magic of Parsec, right?
Yeah, it is important to note that that will affect Feremuntrus and Feremuntrus alone. It would not actually impact Exander's connection to the server, so it's not like he was like sabotaging the match or anything, but that is very funny. I mean, he sabotaged it for himself, not for his opponent.
I'm dying. It's so good.
Once again, proving that Zasalamel is a lot better online than offline, even when it's only affecting you, as the Zas player.
I don't know what he's trying to do, though, because he just said that he can't wire.
Wait, what?
He
it's
just
not possible.
He doesn't have the capability.
He ran out of wires.
Wherever he is, like a McDonald's bathroom or some shit, he does not have the capability to plug in right now.
Well,
I am dying.
He does live in Florida at the moment, aka McDonald's bathroom, and they just don't have wires in Florida. I've talked with Party Wolf about it. I've talked with Scavenger about it. They don't believe in wires like they don't believe in a lot of other things, and that's the way it is. It's crazy.
Oh, this is so good. I love this. I'm so happy about this, dude.
I mean, hey, Lyonide from across the sea, from across the ocean, Feremuntrus playing on Wi-Fi for some reason. Who can say what's going on?
Yeah, let's go. Let's absolutely go. Maybe they picked the wrong
to go
stage.
To a different stage or something?
I think they picked the wrong stage because there's two different. Yeah, there's two different.
Okay, I see. Yeah.
For a stage.
Okay, so he decides that he wants... Cervantes wants to be able to go off of the wall, I presume, and wants just a little bit more wall pressure, where he doesn't really have to deal with ring outs. That being said, I find that ever since
Again?
ever since the grab nerf for Zasalamel, I feel like his reverse ring outs are significantly less impressive than they used to be, to the point where it's digestible as opposed to what it was before. So
because there's always you can always tech a single throw and you will always not get reverse ring out, right? There's no mix up there anymore.
It's really only a mix when both will kill. So that's going to be the case for anybody with grabs. Goes for the IGDR and actually gets it. Yeah, it's very important stuff. Could have been potentially risky. Also wouldn't have killed unless he went for the IGDR.
And then, beautiful step right there. Got the full punish. And yeah, opts for the curse rather than the damage up against the wall. In that situation, I feel like you're close enough to the wall that maybe curse is actually the lesser of the two punishes. Interestingly enough, I know it probably sounds weird because normally you just want to get curse as much as you want. But when you're up against the wall, there's a chance that you can tech trap them with like 40k, or you can just get wall punish. But I mean, not going to matter regardless. Not a big deal here for Feremuntrus. He's going to catch the guard impact with the 2A plus B.
Gotta say, that was a hell of a ballsy clash that Exander got at the end of that round, where he just woke up with 3B plus K from across the screen. But it ended up
this is huge damage, bro. Watch the life bar melt.
God, you were not kidding. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, if you get hit by back turn B, you were dead.
Nice.
And then the 4K lethal hit on the heavy attack, that is
appreciate
one of the
fact
worst
that,
situations to be in.
Yeah, we saw Feremuntrus effectively correct counterplay that unblockable setup that we saw Exander work on Ribz. Feremuntrus bugging out there for a second. He's really trying to like add in layers of just moving forward and yet not moving forward into that mix-up.
Well, you know, the interesting part about it is Feremuntrus has not gone low off of doing any sort of thing like that, so it's like, okay, I'm expecting 4-6P at this point, like, right?
Yeah, at that point, it's just like, it's not a matter of what, it's just a matter of when, but that's a very difficult thing to do, especially on Wi-Fi. But, you know, guess you can try to figure it out. Doesn't end up going for a punish, ends up just trying to, like, move away, try to use the soul charge. It pseudo-worked, but yeah, this is gonna not do it yet. Oh,
the wall actually saved Feremuntrus there, and, you know, possibly just not being ready for that to be the case. Feremuntrus was, you know, got caught afterwards.
Very similar situation to what we were in before. Feremuntrus with a slight life lead, and I appreciate the fact that he's going with Soul Charge immediately, but he's not necessarily getting... I mean, he got a little bit. He ended up getting a curse out of his Soul Charge, and now, unfortunately, Xander's going to be able to bounce around the walls over and over again, which I think is the reason why he decided to pick this stage. We get a clash instead of an actual hit. 4-6B is going to do a ton of damage because he gets the same tech trap that he got the last time, and he's going with the Soul Charge.
You're dead!
What is that last hit? Is that 6-6B, or is that a different... That button does...
6-6A plus B.
6-6A plus B, yeah, that button does a chunk, and he was getting a huge amount of mileage off of the tech jump on top of things.
So the tech jump actually ended up causing a back turn because of the Ukemi, right? And then that caused the ability for him to go for back turn B. So it just like...
Yeah, it is important to note, the fact of the matter is, there were 2 times where Exander went around that tech trap inappropriately and ended up getting like this full launch. Feremuntrus got a full launch off of like the 2-2B. I think it was like twice in that set. And again, especially with tech traps that Feremuntrus is known for, you really only need to be right twice in order to win a full set off of something like that. It's very important that you have the appropriate counterplay in that situation.
Yeah, so here's the funny thing about it is, like, you know, we talk about them being like fake combos or whatever, right? Because like they are tech traps, right? 90% of the big damage stuff that Feremuntrus goes towards. But that's the thing, is that there are contingencies in those fake combos, right? So like you get you dodge one of the tech traps, the other one covers that dodge. So it's like, yeah, this is really bad.
It's bad news bear situation all around. For sure.
Yeah, that is actually, I feel like that was the design philosophy for Zasalamel as they decided to like patch and create this character, was that he always has a contingency for everything. Because if you check his entire boot kit, there is always something available to him that covers one of the other options. There's nothing in his entire...
Imagine it can be relatively tough for Lyonide, but I guess it's just going to be a matter of I'd be willing to bet that Noah did not have the time to see the match that Lyonide had with Yoki. Had he had the ability to watch that match, there are certain things that I think he could potentially pick up on to see if he can keep Lyonide from getting like big time layers upon his Oki by going into canceling and stuff like that, and just like end up matching out. You can see some of this auto evasive moves that Noah was pulling out that Yoki wasn't really pulling out in the first place. So I wonder if that's going to be what Noah needs in order to finish out this round where Yoki wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, well, there's also the chance that Noah will kind of watch that set and wants to like play around what Lyonide was doing versus Yoki, right?
Yeah, you saw that 2A there in the middle of that stance. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's just like not allowing Now, there's not to say that Xianghua has nothing to do in that situation where it's like, well, if you end up matching 2A, it beats all of her options. But the fact of the matter is, Xianghua's not going to be able to do stance mix-ups if you end up mashing, and it's just going to have to continue with the string, which is not necessarily the biggest time damage that Lyonide could pull out there, and it's not necessarily what he wants to do. So it's just forcing Lyonide into a situation where he has to do something he feels uncomfortable with.
Oh wow, Crybaby actually stopping the back turn setup right there. You know, there's very few people that can like stop her from just kind of jumping over and doing that, so I just wasn't ready for that.
I just gotta say, that was... Man, you want to talk about magic. It's just like, Lyonide was building up a break attack, and Noah just like, kicks Xianghua in the face, and then just beats like K for a further kick in the face. And I also really appreciate that he's constantly going with kicks to get away from the auto guys, too. Smart stuff.
Yeah. You know, it's just one of those things where you saw a lot of it before, so you need to play around it, and Soul Charge comes out, trying to get away from the mix-up. An interesting jump right there.
Yeah, I don't know what
you
that
get
was
one beat for your troubles. Oh, Hell Sweep, gonna finish it off.
Yeah,
Easy money.
with all due respect, I'm trying to think, okay, so Soul Charge moves. 1B, the jump beats 1B. It does not beat 6-6A, it does not beat 6A, it does not beat doing nothing.
It beats Hell Sweep, right? So.
I guess so, yeah. It just wasn't really in the range for that I would have expected it to be a thing. I guess if Noah just like ran up and ended up going for it, then that would be the case. But this round is all Noah right now. Here we go. You have
on that 2K.
One shot. Do not miss a chance to blow. Because opportunity comes once in a lifetime. Here we go!
Oh, okay, off the command grab. So you use both bars at this point. So now you're just playing to stay alive, basically.
Yeah. I mean, he's so far down that he has to effectively spend it. Oh, he ends up getting the Soul Charge! Oh, that was really smart. Because last time Noah mashed in that situation, so Lyonide continued with the string. It makes total sense. It's just the problem is that his reward for doing all that fantastic play is to go to the last round with no meter against somebody with all meter. So
yeah,
that...
exactly.
What?
Hello?
Yeah, Xianghua having a real tough time understanding where her opponent is.
she got the sense knocked out of her!
And that's gonna be it, right? This crybaby's gonna do it up.
Her mom smacked her upside the head so hard because she didn't clean her room that she didn't know where Sugita was. Oh my god, bro, I can't handle it. I'm sorry.
That's gotta be really tough to Lyonide. Just straight up have a move go the complete opposite direction. I'm not even sure, so why does that happen? I guess it's like 6A ended up hitting, and so she was like in a wake-up situation, but potentially also back turn. I don't understand this game. This game's weird.
Oh, I mean, yeah, there's some weird, like, yeah, Ukemi situations like that and whatnot where, yeah, you could probably end all beautiful. Okay, well, I mean, it didn't fully work out. I was gonna say beautiful stance transition, but
I respect.
I mean, you
trying to
tried.
make it the best of a bad situation, but yeah, Noah just seeming fully prepared and hitting so much harder than Xianghua at the moment. All those situations in the Yoki matchup where it's just constantly going into the mid range. Oh man, Lyonide also just wrong on the mix on top of things. This is real tough. Ends up getting it, okay.
The low on this one, though, just a bit too far away.
Doesn't block the break attack for some reason. Okay, here we go. Lyonide having the opportunity. Wow.
Alright, so I would like to point out that did not block that break attack on reaction, but ducked into CE on reaction.
Yeah, because it was a situation that's happened, that's the third time. Remember, like, he lost the second to last round based solely on that situation. So, okay, that situation has happened 3 times. In the first one, Noah just mashed. And in the second one, Lyonide bet on the mash. And then on the third time, Lyonide bet on the mash again. And I guess, yeah, Noah will literally kill you for that. That'd be super scary for, like, a small, pseudo-low damage character to try and deal with stuff like this. Okay, Soul Attack. Lyonide definitely uses Xianghua's Soul Charge a lot more than we see other Xianghua players in these streams do.
Yeah, for sure. And, oh, got the low. Okay, so one more mix-up could potentially do it for this round. There it is, 6
There we go. He tried to, like, get up and immediately do that 6A. It was a little bit desperate, but it ended up working out. And I gotta say, I feel like Lyonide has been 100 for 100 in all stance and crouch grabs that we've seen him do. I don't think I've seen somebody break a single one of these so far.
I have a question right there. You saw the auto GI from Noel. Does that actually cover all 6 BB variations? Because it auto GIs and then kicks before the break attack actually comes out, right? So like, I think it actually covers all of them. I could be wrong on that, you know, but like, there's always the chance that you don't use 6BB, right?
If you end up doing 6B and then block, I'm sure that you would be relatively fine. Okay, Lyonide decides to immediately spend the meter. Again, it's a 12-framer. He is putting himself in a bad situation if he ends up going to the last round, but it is important to get to the last round before you worry about that. Again with this grab. Oh,
Mix 50-50 situation.
Lyonide has not been wrong about grab yet, yeah.
I mean, and also on top of that, Lyonide just has like literally zero fear when they're behind, right? Like you'll notice they'll make the biggest plays when they have no health. Like that might be what you have to look for mind game wise. Is like Lyonide is probably gonna go for the crazy shit the second they get into guts range, right? Like so, just look for the crazy thing.
Aren't in one of those situations where like the meter disadvantage that Lyonide could have potentially been in this last round has kind of been mitigated. Oh wow, just an errant 2-2B into an additional knockdown. Okay, how are you gonna do this? You have a meter to spend. The first crouch grab broken ever, maybe in the history of Soulcalibur. Catches. the plus frame backdash. Okay, Soul Charge versus Soul Charge. I give it to Mina here, but you can kind of get in. No, it's way too ambitious, my guy. Way too ambitious. You always have to kind of depend on Mina wanting to sidestep. Like, arguably the best sidestep in the game, second potentially only to Huang. But yeah, that was tough stuff.
Yeah, so Noah gonna be walking away with that one.
It was a good match. Yeah, you can definitely tell the like these big differences between how Noah played it and how Yoki played it, where there was like a significant amount more time spent on defense in Yoki's game versus Noah, where his defense was a little bit more active with a lot more buttons, a lot more kicks, especially to try and like get away from some of the auto GIs. I wish I knew the button. I think it's 4A.
Dang. Okay. Yeah, HyruleHeroJoe. On my stream, I run every Monday that people come and play. He's like virtually undefeated. I swear,
Yeah.
This guy like never loses.
He just runs the Ohio server and just decides to get off whenever he wants to.
Basically.
Yeah.
But YoshimitsuVI also obviously very strong Yoshimitsu player, so we'll see how this goes here.
It's just going to be a matter of, I find both players can be relatively wild, and the fact of the matter is, assuming HyruleHeroJoe has a weapon, Azwel's just significantly better at being wild than Yoshimitsu is. It can be very, very tough. But end up getting his axe jump low, getting hit by wall rising A.
Nice. Yeah, get the punish right over there. Oh no! Like he crouched right there and just got hit.
I think he tried to sidestep. You can sidestep the second part. Maybe his sidestep turned into crouch instead, and that kind of stinks. But what are you gonna do? YoshimitsuVI kind of clamming up now. He's frustrated with the fact that he lost that round that way. Okay, here we go. This is the name of the game.
It's always a tricky thing about fighting games, right? Gotta have that selective memory.
Yeah.
Gotta let that get you in the end.
It's getting a lot of good stuff here. Yeah, it's always tough. You always have to, always the main thing to remember when you're dealing with Azwel is trying to remember which weapon he has, because the way that you play against every weapon is drastically different than each other.
Yeah, he was... Oh, no!
Oh, thank God. Okay. I can't believe he punished with AA there. That is punishable by literally Yoshimitsu's entire kit, and he went with the lowest damage thing. Talk about tempting fate, yeah?
He was like, Jesus. I just need to make sure I hit him.
Just anything, yeah. Minus 24, no, I'll take my 10. Sure.
Oh, there we go. Getting the wall.
Spear.
And the punish on the low.
Too slow for Yoshimitsu, but ends up getting the lethal hit, something that you don't really see all that often. Shades of Blue God.
Oh no, that should be the end of this round here. Yeah, HyruleHeroJoe now going up 2-1 in rounds. And again, YoshimitsuVI can't think about that first round. Like, he probably feels like he should be up 2-1 right now.
Oh wow, ends up deciding to drop the minus 12 punish so he can go up for a grab. I kind of respect it for the beginning of the game. Just random A+B, wow. Yoshi's A+B is probably one of the worst, but feeling very confident just going up there. Such brilliance happening over and over again.
Oh, again?
That's the second time he's dropped that combo.
That's really interesting. I wonder what's happening here. I wonder if it's
it's a crouch thing, and I think he's trying to do the 3B, but he's still in crouch, so he's getting wall rising B instead. So it's just a timing thing.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering if it's like it could be, an input lag thing. I mean, obviously Parsec is great. It's not perfect, but,
Oh, he ends up getting the crouch! Is that it? No, it's not it yet.
Oh god, oh man.
That's so scary. So many options Azwel has in Soul Charge. He literally has all options. But yeah, Yoshi6 getting that out 1-1 with regards to meter. It's all about trying to get a weapon now. I think Azwel's in sword at the moment, but he feels clamped down. He's not trying to press any buttons. There, now he has a weapon.
Right here. YoshimitsuVI with a pretty good lead over HyruleHeroJoe right now, but obviously the comeback.
There's that combo he was looking for. Okay, he's gonna have to deal with Azwel Soul Charge now. Doesn't die. Wow! Into such brilliance.
There it is. Or whatever. There we go. And yeah, and this is good for YoshimitsuVI because, like I said, he was probably thinking he should have already won this match. It should have been like a 3-1, but he lost that first round on the drop, and this is good. Now it's like mentally you could completely put that past you, you know?
yeah, for sure. I appreciated the fact that Yoshi 6 had a bar at the last round, right? But instead of waiting for like some sort of a soul charge, the second he was able to get some sort of wall pressure, he just immediately tried to like slam down with a lot of helicopter stances, with a lot of AA Brave Edge to try and keep that stage positioning, which ended up giving him a huge amount of damage and potentially winning the game. So I think that was a very smart use of his meter that only characters like Yoshi and Gero can kind of pull off. Ooh, wow, that challenge with the AA.
Wow, with a perfect here. Now everything seems to be going Yoshimitsu's way here. Okay, good start. It's 2 out of 3 right now still, right?
Yes. Jump B, interesting choice. Dude, Such Brilliance has had, I think, a 95% hit ratio so far. It's like every single time, except for one really important time in that second to last round. Doesn't get his punish. Just like the tiniest Twitch duck.
Okay. Starts off here with a little bit of pressure. Back to the wall at this point in time. Trying to get an escape from there.
Oh, there's like all these little tiny hits, and that's gonna do it.
There it is, yep.
Oh man, Joe was just desperate to try and find some way to get some distance between him and his opponent. And despite the fact this is the largest stage in the game, another ridiculous clash of a Yoshi quote-unquote vertical.
Alright, again, trying to get this pressure. It's amazing how often he's been able to get him to the wall on such a big stage. But here we go, Soul Charge, push him away. Try to build some of that space, and now, nice roll to escape.
Wow, so many times Yoshi just going in between these strings with just an AA or a stand K or something like that. I don't think Joe is used to something like that.
Right, here comes the Soul Charge right now. He's really got to get something going here, obviously. Nice, wasn't there, but...
He ends up doing like the avoiding the puddle off of the Axlo post RI. What an option! And Yoshi 6 ends up taking it. That second game was pretty convincing, and that was insane.
I didn't even see what happened there. I had to go glance at the stream because it's always a little bit behind. Yeah. And I was like, wait, what just happened there? And I looked to the side, and just low crushing right there, right over the muscle buster.
Like, Joe had a guarantee, a potential hit off of something like that, off of like a Sword AB, because he was in Soul Charge, so he's in Almighty, he can do whatever he wants. He decided to get a little bit greedy. He kind of had to be a little bit greedy in order to really get some sort of pressure going, because he was down on life, so he decided to go for the Axlo. If Yoshi 6 was specifically thinking that that's the way it was going to be, then boy howdy, kudos to him.
I mean,
that was crazy.
How many times do Azwel's likes to finish off a round with the axe weapon? All right, so I mean,
what James well said. Yeah, well, that is about as good of a point as humanly possible.
Yeah, so good read on Yoshimitsu 6's side, and he's gonna take that 2-0. I know it says 1-0 on the screen right now, oddly, but it was a 2-0 for Yoshimitsu 6.
I was
he's
AFK.
Gonna move forward.
It's okay.
Let me unmute it.
And I guess it really wasn't that big of a bet if you really think about it, because what's the worst thing that could have happened to Yoshi 6 in that situation? He gets hit by Sword AB, he gets hit by like Axe 3B, which is going to be air hit, so it's really not going to be that big of a deal. And he had the life to burn, so a lot of it makes sense.
I was AFK for a second. Sorry about that.
No
we got up.
So coming up next, we're going into winners semifinals. We're gonna have Incendiate versus Feremuntrus.
Oh, nice! Should be another classic.
Another epic NLBC regular.
Oh, James, by the way, I'm actually T-minus 2 days into releasing my PC setup guide for tournaments.
Oh dang! Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's about to be real.
All PC setup for local or for?
Well, like just my advice on what you should do to get the lowest latency, on your setup. So I did it at a East Coast Throwdown, and one of the things I realized, I just did it as a favor. So I showed up the day of, and I set up the stream station, right? So I had what I basically did is I disabled VSync. I used Brooks adapters, and I overclocked the Brooks adapters to 1000 hertz. So by doing that, before the actual monitor situation, which was 144 hertz, that reduces a frame and a half already. So the side stations were not set up like that, so it was different timing.
Right.
It's different timing. So basically, if somebody does a tournament, they have to make sure all the setups are have the same configuration.
And the question really is like, what's that cost-wise? You know, like just not even talking about the PC cost, but like, you know, to get all the Brooks adapters and everything like that.
Yeah, the Brooks adapters are only necessary for tournaments, really. You know, only if you're using like a home. It might not even be necessary. There might be some software that I can get around it. But I had the adapter, so I wouldn't have hot swap issues. And like it did work. The only downside is we couldn't actually pause. But if somebody unplugged, you know, like, they won't be able to move anyways. Shouldn't be pausing anyways.
Oh man.
But yeah, it's actually free mods except for the Brooks. It's actually free to do.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at the bracket here. Again, this is to get into the winners finals here. Of course, No Woe and Yoshimitsu 6 on the other side of the winner side of the bracket. And on the loser side of the bracket, HyruleHeroJoe is going to have to go up against RubberBeefMan. Lyonide is going up against Scavenger. And Steller and Word already matched up in losers round 4. So, yeah, it looks like we're at the tail end of this now.
So we end up getting the biggest stage in the game. Not really going to see a lot of ring-outs, but neither character, especially now, is really known for their ring-outs. So it's really just going to be a matter of a lot of these small hits versus Feremuntrus building up curses and getting that one gigantic hit.
Got the one on there right now. But,
tried to go for that 4-6B there. Ended up not working out, but he gets 2 curses now, so we potentially see a really, really big hit here.
Of course, easier said than done getting that hit. Whoa, dang, okay.
Oh my god, the first hit of the RE whiffed for some reason, and because of that Incendiate's RI ends up losing. He's gonna lose the round because of that. He died!
You weren't kidding when you were talking about one big hit. Yeah. Who knew it was going to come off of an RE as well? Jeez. Oh, that's unfortunate. Incendiate was doing such a good job just kind of rushing him down and keeping him at bay. But, oh no, here's another big hit. Fortunately, no curses, though.
Yeah, so you'll just have to settle with over a third life.
That's all.
Feremuntrus with a lot of meter now. I wonder if it ends up getting a back grab on top of things. Yeah, maybe Incendiate's going to want to try and play this a little bit more patiently. Feremuntrus is dead to his CE. He has to be very, very careful about what he ends up doing, which of course Incendiate knows, so he just immediately does a run-up double grab. Wow, it just aggresses him out of everything, yeah.
Good tech on the second one, but it was only enough to keep him alive for so long here. Alright, got one curse planted here to start off the round very early here, so that's good.
You can tell that Feremuntrus gets a little bit antsy when he has that one curse. He wants to try and jam in that 4-6B, and Incendiate's been aware of it both times. Wow, that's still caught. There's a lot of these situations where Feremuntrus is getting these errant hits as Incendiate's trying to sidestep or GI or step duck or whatever, and it's just not working out for Incendiate. Oh, he ran into it.
He tried a GI right there. Unsuccessful.
Okay, here we go.
Throw. Here we go, yep. Is this gonna kill?
I'm gonna say no.
Not,
actually,
not.
it is, isn't it? Yeah, it is.
It is? Okay.
I knew the second I said it's not, I was like, yep.
Yeah.
No way.
I'll tell you this right now, that's my curse right there. That's my superpower. It makes everybody on stream incorrect when they're guessing if it's gonna kill or not. Oh man.
Certainly adds a little bit of flair to the commentary.
Please someone send that one to Say Jams.
Appreciate that little interrupt that Feremuntrus had with the two-way to get in between the 2 hits of the string. A lot of these little small hits trying to interrupt Incendiate's pressure. Incendiate has to play a little bit more patiently, which is obviously exactly what Feremuntrus wants. Gets that grab. No, he doesn't.
Good escape right there. Here we go. Activates the soul charge. And you can see Incendiate now backing off, playing very, very tentatively, just trying to get that timer to run out. And yeah, finally, and see what was great was with the timer running so low, he kind of figured that Feremuntrus is going to try to get in and desperately use that to his advantage. And so he just immediately switched from defense to offense and caught him running forward. So nicely done.
It's such a tough thing. I mean, it's the very classic example of what we see in NLBC week in, week out. It's just once a Xianghua player who's saving their bar because they normally don't use Soul Charge has you in a situation where you're dead to a 2-2B CE, or just an errant CE in general, you know that you can't make a single mistake. You can't do any punishable low, which for an I-12 CE is basically every low. You can't do a grab, you can't whiff on anything, you can't do a non-jailing high, which is a lot of what Feremuntrus, a lot of what Zasalamel has. It's a lot of what every character has. So it's such a tough situation because it is so easy to overextend into nothing. I assume he wanted a specific stage. In fact, I'm assuming we're going to see the Forest at Night stage because that's what Feremuntrus chose the last time. Maybe he doesn't want to do that against Xianghua. I'm just guessing.
Well, let's see. Where does he go?
Oh, decided to go with the Geralt stage. Okay.
With the Witcher stage, interesting. Okay.
Wanted something small, which is surprising to me, but this does provide him more opportunities for small wall ringouts. So maybe that's the way that he's going to want to go.
Okay.
Zasalamel definitely very good at that, just running up and grabbing at the very beginning. Jesus.
That's right. Just establishing that and text right there off of the punish on the GI whiff. Now, getting in there, but
these little interruptions with these 2 ways is definitely the way that Feremuntrus wants to try and do stuff. So yeah, he's getting so buttonsy. If Incendiate's able to figure it out, then he'll get a lot of mileage, but it's difficult because you have to play defensively against a slower, higher damaging character. Every single 4-6B has been interrupted.
Ooh, okay. Expecting follow up there, gets it, and yeah, just the AA punish right there. Nicely done. And I mean, honestly, outside of that one first round that he lost in the last game where Feremuntrus got the big old 50% combo off of the 2 curse and the RE, it's been all Incendiate. Oh, never mind. Okay, sorry.
Well, now we can see why he wanted that stage. Fantastic job, Jeff.
Yeah, I know. I just commentators cursed the Incendiate. I'm sorry.
Some solid stuff. Oh no, end up interrupting the critical edge. Did he really want to CE there? That seems a bit odd to me. Man, Feremuntrus isn't able to get anything out of these whiff opportunities, but he's got him up against the wall. This is exactly what he wanted, which is exactly why Incendiate Soul Charge.
Yeah, try to fill that space, try to get back to the center of the screen here.
That is so lucky for Incendiate. He went for an AA. Yeah, that's what Feremuntrus wanted the last time, was just getting that 4-6B, but he got caught by the AA the first time. Forward hop into throw. He wanted the wall bounce, it didn't happen. Oh, he gets it there though.
Yeah, that's it right there. So Feremuntrus now going to go up 2-1 here against Incendiate.
Such scary stuff. Fantastic tech crouch getting under there, plus the curse. Just a lot of 3AK. Feremuntrus is really kind of putting Incendiate off with some of these errant 2As. Kind of reminds me of Omega DR, who's a Zasalamel player that we don't get to see very often competing, but is one of the biggest ranked monsters in the game. A lot of those errant 2As kind of... Oh, is he dead? He might be... No, he's not. Okay.
Okay.
I just always say that whenever I see Feremuntrus pull off a combo like that, but Feremuntrus gets the game anyway.
Yeah, so, I mean, again, commentators cursed him, I guess. I said looked like it was all going Incendiate's
Yeah, it was like
way.
the second you said that.
Yeah, and then he got a ring out, and then everything went for Feremuntrus. So I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say the momentum is shifted or the
Yeah, but you gotta say something because you're a commentator. So what do you do? It's
an even fight right now, and then watch they double KO or some stupid thing like that. Okay. Oh man. All right, so Incendiate going in there aggressively right away. Yeah, looks like trying to keep him locked down at this point. And yeah, here we go. A small stage again, but no ring out possibility this time. But that is what Zasalamel can do with his back against the wall. Just gets the wall combos for free.
Fantastic conversion to get those 2 curses too, but yeah, unfortunately what Feremuntrus happened is that the second he got the 2 curses, he immediately went for the 1B, which is kind of what every Zasalamel player wants to do when they have that amount of curses up against the wall, so it was a little bit too easy for Incendiate to try and figure it. You don't want to make it so that just because you have powerful options, it means you're always going to go for that option. It makes you a little bit too predictable. Yeah, see, look at these little tiny hits. They're just frustrating Incendiate. He can't figure out a way in. See, he's going for like these jump Bs and stuff, and it's just like, there's nothing doing. It's a fantastic. Okay, there we go.
Bro, that's gonna purge. Yeah, and that's gonna do it right there. Okay. So tie game right now. Like I said, nobody has any momentum. Nobody is
Nobody's doing anything.
Yeah.
Nobody's playing Soulcalibur. Oh, wow. Talk about... We've had a handful of unblockable setups so far this tournament. That's an old one I haven't seen in many a moon. I'm surprised it came back.
Well, that's an unblockable I haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah, you knew what I was going for. There we go. I sense something. A presence I've not held since... Oh, man,
Okay.
almost evened it up. See, this is the thing. You're dead to 2-2B. You're
Oh,
dead
God.
to
Oh
CE.
my gosh!
Yeah.
What a crouch under the throw. Just sniffed it out like that, and good reaction to get the critical edge just like that. So Incendiate is now at match point.
It was like a blistering, just a twitch duck, which you can kind of... Oh, wow, the lethal hit for no meter. Shutting me right up. We're going to start this round right away. Oh, Incendiate is under half health now. It has been 10 seconds.
There goes about 75% of your health. You didn't need that for this round, absolutely.
Yeah. Getting a little
Still
bit of a combo
making a
himself. He's probably not
actually,
going to want to
you know what?
spend the meter until... Maybe he'll want to spend the meter on the next hit.
I was joking about, still can make the comeback, but look at this. Incendiate is absolutely doing it. Has almost tied up the health, but a good sidestep right there. Not going to be able to finish him off.
Oh, wow.
Finish with the low.
Yeah, that 2B plus K, the first time he did it was just a little bit too ambitious. But, see, this is the thing, is that Incendiate effectively got Feremuntrus to spend meter on a round he kind of had practically already won. And so that's kind of a W in Incendiate's book anyway, because he gets to go into this last round. Now all he has to do is just wait out this Soul Charge, and he'll be able to do all kinds of stuff.
Right, if he can get those combos into the critical edge again, just needs a couple of them. He's sitting on full meter right now. Okay, so he's going to go with the charge instead here.
Oh man, doesn't get anything out of that whip.
Yeah, tries to get away from the back against the wall. Feremuntrus just getting out of there, but here we go. Here comes the pressure now. And there goes the Soul Charge is done now. But again,
yeah, I mean, he effectively got exactly what he wanted. He's dead to a CE, and
there it is. Yeah, I was about to say, one combo into the critical edge was going to do it, and there you go, just gets the launch, goes right into the critical edge, and Incendiate is indeed going to take it on the last game, last round. So, I mean, talk about... back and forth. First game was all Incendiate. Second one was all Feremuntrus. And then here, I guess you can't commentators curse if you say no one has an advantage. So
yeah, if you just never spout an opinion that could potentially be defeated by the future. Anyway. It was very smart play from both players. I think Incendiate played a very classic Xianghua style of just small peppering of damage constantly until you're dead to a CE. I think Feremuntrus doesn't necessarily have to look back at that match and think that he made a lot of mistakes. I think that a lot of the small peppering with things like 2A just errantly was definitely screwing Incendiate up quite a lot. And I think if he does that a little bit more, it's so difficult, right? Because as a slower, higher damage character, you want to hit those big things. But if you just constantly do that, you're going to get peppered out. So yeah, that's definitely the way.
I mean, it's always one of the dangerous things, right? Like coming into games like this, if you're just starting a new fighting game, you see the cool combos and you want to land all the big hits, but most of the time it's really just going to be about all those small hits that's going to win you fights like this.
So let's really briefly just mention that we have a Matcherino. Maybe take a look at it. Arturo.
Yep. I got you guys. Okay, guys. Once again, if you guys are enjoying the broadcast, remember this is a community-oriented tournament, so we can always use your help to keep the pots going. Check out the Matcherino link. I pasted it in the chat. Right now, we are at $59.35. Please help out if you can. We still have 70 codes left to use, so please make sure you use them. And hit up all the sponsor quests from G Fuel, Matcherino, Punch Planet, Twitter quests, YouTube quests, and Twitch quests. Everything goes to the players. What's up? Go on.
I do this every time. I haven't logged in yet. I'm going to do this. I'm going to log in, click Google, click my Google account, and then click claim code, and boom, there you go. That easy to do. It just took like 10 seconds. So if you guys can, please help support this. Hey, look at this. I see Draconas who was helping with the ICFC EU on the Matcherino as well. And that's the important thing, right? If you sign up for Matcherino, if you create an account, you can support all the tournaments that use this. It's not just here for, you know, NYC Caliber. Obviously, we appreciate your support here, but, you know, you can use this for all the tournaments in the FGC. So please definitely try to use your coupon codes for the Matcherino.
Appreciate it, everyone. You know, we try to also try and make sure that the players can have some, you know, get some prize money, but also that we keep our all of our folks afloat, like helping out Henry Sen, the owner of Next Level Arcade, you know, just to make sure that even though business is you know, still within the pandemic parameters here, you know. And also try to help out the commentators for taking, you know, significant time out of their evening to come talk to you all and tell you about how the Soulcalibur is going. So, you know, really do appreciate it. To curse the players. That's their job.
That's bestowing curses.
Yeah. What we got up, by the way?
Professional voodoo. So up next is going to be No-Wo versus Yoshi 6.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one here.
Okay, it's going to be very similar, I imagine, to the last match that No-Wo had to play, where it's just a very classic tale of character that needs to get in, and when they're in, they're super sticky, versus the character that wants to keep them out as much as possible.
Who did No-Wo use in the last match?
He's been playing Mina the whole time that I've seen so far. Yeah, it's been Mina the whole way. Maybe he's decided to go back to his roots. If he's anything like Kashi... Oh, are you going to go with Mitsu just to, like, pseudo-commentator curse me? Like Exander was trying to do before?
No. Looks like we've got the Mina here. Yeah, so for sure. Because when you were first describing the get in and keep out, I was, like, picturing a Voldo, and I was like, wait, Yoshimitsu doesn't want to keep out. Oh, Mina, of course.
Yeah, it's not very often that Yoshimitsu wants to keep out. I actually think he's a lot better at it than a lot of people give Yoshi credit for. But you obviously don't want to do that against a character like this.
Yeah, you want to get in as much as possible, of course. You know, her button's a little bit slower than other characters, maybe able to try to get some CE whiff punishes or something like that, but otherwise want to stay in her face and rush her down as much as possible.
Especially on a stage like this, where if you can just get up there and do some sort of like an AA Brave Edge when she's up against the wall, which is very similar to what Yoshi 6 was doing against Joe in the last match we saw him in, that's a lot of damage. That is an unbelievable amount of damage that not even Mina can compare to.
Nice sidestep right there to get the big punish. Goes for the fake.
See that like top back that No-Wo did? Very interested in trying to maintain a level of distance. You see these traditional two ways kind of like peppering Yoshi 6 in a lot of situations too.
So far here in this first round, No-Wo showing that he's willing to sidestep a lot. Got two big sidesteps and punishes at this point in time. Let's see how that affects Yoshimitsu if he decides to go for more horizontals this round, or if he just continues the same game plan. Ooh.
Walking up and blocking might be a thing that you want to try and do a little bit more as well. Yeah, just kind of immediately sitting there and going into Med-K, that's definitely a way to go, getting a gigantic amount of damage on the wall.
It's not bad, it's not bad, it's only about 50%.
That's not bad.
So,
yeah.
There we go. Gets the, okay, he's going to get the hit here, and gets the force block. And there was a little whip punish right there, small amount of damage, but very far behind. Probably wants to use his meter right now, because if he loses this, it's going to go to waste? Yeah, so...
His meter got stolen. He ended up getting hit out of it. I wonder if he... Did he go for a soul attack? I mean, Mina's soul attack is not particularly well known or very powerful, so maybe he ended up getting hit out of that, or maybe he just got hit out of like a traditional soul charge activation. That really sucks either way.
Always hate to see that meter go like that. I mean, the way this round is going, though, I mean, he's just going to get it all back
this was
instantaneously.
Such a tough situation to deal with for No-Wo. It's like every time he just backs up just a teeny tiny bit, Yoshi 6 is immediately in his face, potentially getting him with an I-10 150 damage combo off of these walls, and you see No-Wo immediately spending the meter to try and get away from the double bar lethal hits that Yoshi has as well.
Goes for the GI, but nothing doing from Yoshimitsu. Gets the punish right here. And I want to say, you know, on the subject of curses and such, you know, I always feel like I'm good luck charm for Nowo because, like, I think most of the tournaments I've commentated him and he's won. But Yoshimitsu 6 is trying to break that streak right now because he dominates this last 2 rounds and goes up 1-0.
Yeah, that was all Yoshi 6. I mean, especially in the last round, Noah was just not right about anything. Tried to sidestep, couldn't sidestep the vert. Tried to GI, Yoshi 6 went for a very tempered amount of pressure, where he's not necessarily pressing the fastest things he has all the time. He's definitely changing up the timing and making it incredibly awkward, which is definitely the way you want to go for characters like Mina, like Ivy, all these awkward, pseudo-slower characters. That's definitely the way you want to do it. It's about as neutral of a stage as you can possibly get. We're not going to see that many walls combos as we were before, but we could potentially see some ring-outs.
Alright, catches him with the knee. And nice, yeah, just checks him out of the air. Not letting him try to start that mix-up again with just the standing K, the 5K. Keeping him from using the Rafflecopter stance in any way.
It's constantly these small little jabs in between, like, little bits of pressure. But here we go. Yoshi 6 has his knockdown. He has the opportunity.
Yeah, it doesn't, obviously, doesn't, yeah, okay. Just there's that 50-50 right there, mid or low. He went mid, caught him. But yeah, didn't really have the meter for any, like, soul charge comebacks here. Very rare to get that soul charge in the first round. Oof.
Smacking him right out of the air. He goes for a 2-2-A. It's a little bit ambitious. I think Yoshi 6 might be getting a little bit too errant with trying to figure out a way to get in. You always want to make sure that you're continuing your defensive game plan. Wow, what a fantastic way to just smack him down into the ground. That was great.
Yeah, gets the knockdown so he can get the combo, make sure he gets the kill that way. So that was actually really nicely done. Okay, gets the GI. Oh, re-GI, and then just went straight for the launch.
That is so similar to Feremuntrus versus Incendiate, where the first game was all one player, then the second round was all the other player. Yoshi 6 just can't figure out a single thing to do, and even when he's right, he's not right. And I don't think that's going to do it just yet, but it's going to be pretty close. I was wrong. It is dead.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't do as much damage as she used to, but still can dish it out, so there you go. No, like you said, interesting enough, all Yoshimitsu 6 first game, all Nowo here in game number 2, which means we're going to last game, last round in this one, right? So let's just play the first round and just let it go, you know? Yeah. Whoever wins this first round, we'll just say who they win.
I honestly feel like it's all going to come down to the stage, because Yoshi is a character that flourishes on stages of extremes, like extreme ringouts or extreme walls, which is kind of what we had in the first game. And in the second game, it was about as neutral a stage as you can get. So I think if Yoshi 6 is smart about it, you might as well just go to the first stage that you had, right? There's no reason not to. It works so well. But you could also go to a stage that's very small and you can get all ringouts or something like that.
So is the protocol when the players are communicating right now which stage to go to, basically? Yoshimitsu 6 gonna tell Nowo which stage he wants to go to?
If I'm Yoshi 6, I'm saying, okay, let's go with Geralt stage, which is effectively the same thing. You have the small amount, or is this Huang stage? No, this is...
This is the
Geralt stage. Okay, I was right. I almost... If he had chosen Huang stage, I would have been... bummed. That makes no sense to me at all. But this one makes a lot of sense. You've got the walls, you've got the ringouts, very small amount of room for Nowo to work around. Fantastic step duck.
Yeah, there you go. Crouches right into that throw attempt, and here you go, Nowo now. Actually, again, continuing where he left off in the last game, doing a good job. And again, always checking the air stance, always checking it.
And it's not like Yoshi has like no option to deal with that in that situation. I think that Yoshi 6 just has to pick some of the faster options out of these stances that are not necessarily going to net him as much, but they're going to allow him to keep going. These stand kicks, though. Stand kicks in 2As from Nowo. Oh, wow, that was almost the best tech crouch I've ever seen in my life.
Here we go, trying to push him to the wall. There we go, has him back in actually the literal corner of the stage now. You see Nowo trying to get out there, but nice jump.
That was fantastic.
And that was, you can call that a mid-crush right there.
Yeah,
went right over. Oh, okay, but launched out of the air, so not going to get the full combo.
Wow, Nowo's just choosing such odd moves when he's up close. It's really screwing up Yoshi 6 timing. That's not going to do it just yet. Okay, here we go. Last
one hit. One hit. Oh god! And great,
you know what?
punish.
I respect it. Tried to go for like the heaviest read possible on something like a 2A or a full crouch 3K or something like that. Man, that was really tough because in that situation, Yoshi has the wow. She auto-corrected her 3B and it hit behind her. That doesn't make any sense.
This is the hard part because this is the time when I want to go Okubo, please, but Okubo is gone.
He's gone.
Oh,
Spirit of Okubo.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow,
Alright.
that little just twitched out.
Oh,
it's a fantastic
nice.
pressure.
Okay.
Dude, Noah's challenges have been unstoppable. Yoshi 6, like the second that like his pressure stopped really working after the first game, Yoshi 6 has just been dealing with such awkward timings of these panic buttons.
There we go. Yoshimitsu 6 not dropping the combo that time.
Wow.
Yeah, he was waiting. He was waiting for a nice block on the low. You know, that's always scary when he gets that soul charge activated. So Noah with a nice read here. Yoshimitsu 6 now. Still has 1 bar for another soul charge. Yep, so here he goes. Activates again. Tries to go in there right away, but Noah just goes for the throw. 1 more hit now for Noah, but this is scary. Here we go. Pressure.
Guesses right on the Oki. Doesn't do a punish on that move. He decides to just... Okay, so Noah decides to spend soul charge. Immediately pushing out. This makes total sense. Fantastic block. Oh, and the stand kick yet again.
What is with this 5K usage from Noah here?
I mean, it's like the only thing. I mean, you know, Mina is not exactly a fast character, so the only other option that she has in that situation is like a 2A, which could be jumped over.
Right.
So that's just the option he's decided to go with. Yoshi 6 not really going for tech crouch options, going for a lot more tech jumpy / slower options, and I think games 2 and 3 were just an endless bait of Yoshi 6 trying to get in and do something of real critical damage, and Noah mitigating it time and time and time again. And that's tough, because this is a high damage game, and you can only stop somebody for so long, but you had to be right so many times. That is defensive patience precision that I think is very impressive.
And there was the 2 times, the first soul charge he activated, he got into the air and went for the low option, and Noah blocked it because he knew that was, you know, that's just big damage off of that. Yeah. And then the second time he activated the soul charge, I think he went for the mid option.
Yeah,
and sure enough,
3B,
Noah just blocked that one too. So also reading, you know, Yoshimitsu 6 going, dang it, if you're going to block low, I'm going to try to change it up. But again, you know, you were talking about it before. Sometimes going with the obvious answer is the more logical you are, the easier you are to predict.
Yeah.
So it's always a tough one, and that's the mix-up right there, right? So you just keep persistently going with the same option, hoping that they switch so that you'll hit them, or do you try to change it up because they think you're gonna, but do you know that they know that you know?
At that point, it's like when you're dealing with somebody that is just so... I'm sure you've dealt with people where it's just like, when you go for a mix, they're just always correct. For one reason or another, at that time of day, at this part of the country or whatever, this is just, they are stylistically clashing on you, and there's just no way to do it.
This will be the one time on the stream that I'm going to talk shit about Manta, but Jesus. Oh my god. I have forward thrown him like 5 times in a row and he's broke all 5 of them. And I'm like, do you not think I'm gonna go for a back throw ever?
It's the same thing. Like there's like no difference between the two. There's no reason to believe either way.
And
yo, who do we have up, by the way?
This is gonna be Scavenger versus RubberBeefMan.
Oh, okay. Got it. Nice. So
I'm excited because we haven't seen Scavenger in a while.
Yeah, Scavenger... Is this a real game? It looks like a real game. It didn't there for a second there, but can't necessarily tell. Scavenger, former Maryland, still Maryland in spirit, now in Florida. RubberBeefMan, no idea, but he's on the East Coast somewhere.
It's going to be tough for me here not to root for a Beefman at this point in time, because I think everybody saw how much I hated Siegfried, but you know.
Oh, hey man, as anyone and everyone in the Soulcalibur can tell you, you could not be more preaching to the choir. You're not even preaching to the choir, you're preaching to the preacher. Siegfried is the worst character ever made in Soulcalibur, and I hate him. And I wish it would go away.
Watch it, Jay.
What are you gonna do? 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 What are you gonna do?
We're getting muted on stream here.
You wanna fight me? You wanna fight me? I'll fight you. I'll fight you. I'll do it.
Let's put it this way. You know, obviously Siegfried is a great scrub killer, and I am nothing if not a scrub in this game. So
that's the reason why I lose. I don't know what to do with my life anymore. It probably is too.
Dude, RubberBeefMan right now is just going in right now with this pressure. Okay, gets the RE. Is he gonna be able to finish it off here? Okay, gets the horizontal option.
Easy to beat the Dark Legacy off a situation like that.
Yeah, and it's tough, right? Because obviously, you know, what Siegfried's weakness is that, you know, I don't feel like he's slow, but he is. Frame data wise, you know, objectively, he's slow. And Xianghua is...
Yeah, anything that is not AGA punishable on block, you can basically just do whatever to him because his punish is going to be pretty abysmal. And so you can really, like, you know, a character like Xianghua could frankly just, like, shove 3Bs and very powerful stuff down Siegfried's throat to an incredible degree, and it's going to be very difficult for Siegfried to be able to deal with it.
Scavenger with the lead here, okay. Yeah, just needs one more hit, gets him with the low, there we go, and into the drink. So Scavenger on the board here with this first round. See if he can make the comeback before getting to game 2, right? It always seems like we need to have someone get to the next game before they can get the momentum on their side.
Was that old adage, you have 2 rounds to figure out how to win the next 3?
Yeah.
Or 1 round to figure out how to win the next 2?
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because, like, that's literally how some of the strongest players out there do it, right?
Yeah.
They just... They take some 2 rounds to figure out how you react to all the situations, and then the next few rounds they just run over you.
Yeah, you just do the same, like, 4 or 5 different templates of situations over and over again, and you try to figure out, like, what the option is that you're going to choose here. Yeah, see, Scavenger's in a tough situation. Yeah, see, the problem is that... So, Siegfried has incredible force blocks that don't really allow you to disrespect his ability to pressure you. But the problem is that Scavenger was at a point where he wasn't dead to Crybaby, but it was definitely going to be a big irritation for him in that situation, which forced him to back up, where he really needed to keep going in, but I understand the hesitance.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is he showed the Crybaby one time. Siegfried's so good at that Oki pressure, and then he showed the Crybaby one time, and with that little health, you're just like, oh dang, I might die.
It's funny to think that this matchup used to be so abysmal for Xianghua. It used to be so difficult, and then they, because 3A4 used to have so much pushback that, like, Xianghua would just be desperate to try and get in and do anything and just would be unable to do it. But now that 3A4 has been effectively neutered, it just has become a variety of other changes also, but, like, that especially became so difficult, and that's exactly what we were talking about. At that point, he was just stuck. Like, what is he gonna do? He can barely even backdash in that situation.
Yeah, it's just such a nice option to have against a character with good Oki like that, right?
Yeah.
You know, obviously most characters don't have that kind of option against Siegfried.
I'm gonna go for that 6K into for like the tech crouch or something. It's a bit ambitious. You can tell that Scavenger is getting a bit desperate to try and find a way to play Soulcalibur against such a faster character.
Right. Yeah, you see right now just kind of fishing with the AGAs and such, but okay.
Which is relatively fine against a character like this. Not really going to be... See, in previously, that 3A4 would have had enough of a pushback where there's no way that Xianghua would be able to 3A there. And so you would have just had to eat that guard damage and then just leave, and it's just like, man, what do I do?
Back in the range where Siegfried dominates, basically, right? So...
Scavenger just constantly spending resources and just not getting anything out of it. Spent his entire soul charge just kind of like sitting here getting eaten by RubberBeefMan's AAAs, or AAVs.
Yeah. Interrupting the stances, the stance transitions.
It's in Dark Legacy now. He's technically kind of like only 2 hits away from evening this out. Have to be very specific hits.
Yeah, but oh, there we go. Yeah, just gonna finish it off right there. RubberBeefMan's gonna take it 2-0 over Scavenger, and unfortunately for Scavenger, that is the loser side of the bracket, so he is out of the tournament. But again, that's all the way up in 7th place, so nicely done for him, getting into the top 8 essentially. But that means that RubberBeefMan's going to be going forward to fight against Feremuntrus, so that's who he's going to be going up against next in the next round of losers.
recently losing to Incendiate. So, see what the difference is. Hopefully RubberBeefMan has enough time before his match against Feremuntrus to rewatch the tape and end up seeing how Incendiate was able to pull it off.
It's crazy. Like, it's something we don't actually talk about a lot, you know, in the discourse of the online versus offline. But the most interesting thing about online tournaments is while you're waiting, you can play a bunch of matches online. You can hit up somebody, you know, like, quick, let's get some casual games in. Help me, you know. It's very different.
At was it 2 years ago at NEC, Season 2 for Soulcalibur had just come out, and it was literally like a week or two beforehand. So a lot of people were throwing a lot of jank at a lot of other people, right? Because you basically just had enough time to figure out the new stuff that your character had and no other time for anything else. And I ended up losing to a Grow who was throwing a whole bunch of stuff that I had never seen before. And as I'm waiting, I'm watching him on the big stage in winners continuing, and I just went to a friend of mine and I was like, what is this and what is that and what is he doing here? And sure enough, I ended up running into him again in losers bracket, and I ended up winning, and I was like, hell yeah, dude.
Speaking of shenanigans, we got Word versus Steller.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, Word is an Ivy player that is all about the command grabs. Steller, I would say, what's a good way of describing Stellar's gameplay? It's a very reserved kind of Nightmare gameplay. He focuses a lot heavily on mid-range movement, which I'm not entirely sure you'll be able to do in a matchup like this. He might still be able to. I think it's honestly gonna have to do with whether he can break the grabs or not.
Okay. It's just interesting, I mean, describing a Nightmare as a reserved.
Yeah.
Usually I hear words like gorilla.
Yeah. See, stuff like this, you know, he just like, you know, AG.
Oh no!
Y, Stellar Y.
This is the situation. It's always a risk pushing Ivy towards the with her back against a ring out like that. Always a risk.
See, that's the kind of stuff I was talking about. Just like a slight sidestep into just waiting for the correct whiff punish. Every once in a while, he'll just throw out a 6-6 KK, which makes sense because why wouldn't you when you're in Terror Charge? But like, man, oh man, he's just very, very smart about just like doing like this very passive kind of stuff. But I don't know if that's going to work against someone like Word.
Trying to get it with the unblockable, but nice. Stayed on the ground there to avoid it and got the right timing for the punish as well. Nice sidestep.
He had the whip punish, but he went for something small instead of like the 3-3B or whatever.
Oh, getting caught low, sucked in there.
Oh, it doesn't get a punish from Christmas tree either. Okay.
Yeah, instead just use the plus frames to get up in there for the throw. So, oof, good start here.
Yeah,
gonna power up right away.
Still need to be spending some of that meter. I feel like he's been at 2 bars like the whole time, and Nightmare. Is he out? He might be out. This does go that way.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, it's got that little bit of a horizontal ring out shift right there, so that was perfect. Yeah, I mean both of these players.
Stellar just needs to he needs to stay in the middle of the stage. He needs to just not get hit by this ring out stuff.
Oh man. But yeah, I mean, I'm telling you right now, dude, like these guys are not using meter at all. They have both been sitting on 2 bars this whole entire time, and especially
Please don't
now.
get him out. No, that's not what he wanted. Soul attack that would have comboed. Oh no, what's gonna happen here?
Oh, no.
You got hit by it. Why? Why did you get hit by such a thing? It's over, my dude. You're out, bro. You're out, bro. Oh. Okay. 3 rounds, 3 ring outs. For the love of God, Steller, just pick
And
it.
he's staying on the stage. He's not even trying to choose like a walled stage or a bigger stage.
I mean, it's a neutral kind of stage. He could just, you know, not get rung out. He could just do that instead of what he's been doing. But now he's getting grabbed instead.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those tough things, right? Sometimes,
oh my God.
Jeez.
This is quintessential Word. I've had him on like a few of the things that I've done as well, and I've seen him in a lot of streams, and this is like, once he realizes that he can go, he just goes with these things, dude.
I mean, the only thing you can say to this is, oh, Word?
Hey-oh.
Again!
A regular grab, too. That wasn't even a command grab.
dude, he has landed, what, 6 throws now, basically in a row, with just a few things peppered in between.
Yeah,
He's got to want to finish this round with a throw. No, he's just going to finish off with a hit like this, okay. Ooh.
Man, word gets into this groove sometimes, and Steller clearly getting frustrated, clearly is having a tough time trying to get in. He's getting a little bit too ambitious with some of his movement, with some of the verticals that he's going for. Doesn't get an RI, and so he ends up just eating that. Steller, you have to come up with something literally right now.
I mean, to be honest with you, I think the stage rematch, yeah, you're basically done for. Oh, nice block on the low. Okay, there we go.
I was gonna say, his nightmare, he was like dead in like 2.5 hits, but just couldn't do anything.
To me, what was more telling, I think, was the mental situation, right? After getting thrown 6 times in a row, I feel like, honestly, the instant rematch was kind of one of those big tells. Like, I'm a player who's really, you know, who pays attention to, or I should say, I'm not a player much anymore because I suck at everything, but I'm a commentator who likes to kind of note the mental state. And I feel like that instant rematch was a little bit of frustration, like not thinking, like, gotta get back in there and just go right back in there. And I feel like maybe even the stage switch might have even given him time to kind of reassess things. But then I love what Word did, right? Maybe he sensed it too and was like, okay, you're frustrated. So he just went in and just threw him like 6 times in a row to really put him on tilt.
That's 100% exactly what happened. I'm a big fan of maybe not even necessarily switching the stage. Let's say you wanted to keep that stage. It was a very frustrating game. You got wrung out 3 times. 2 of those rounds especially, you like definitely had the win. So it's a very tough situation in that regard. But like just staying on the menu screen and just kind of like taking a minute to breathe, you'll see that every time I lose. Even if I'm not necessarily thinking of a specific thing. Maybe it's just like a BS way that the opponent ended up winning. Like the first game, it's just a matter of just like taking yourself out of that too passionate of a moment and just trying to digest what has occurred to go back into the next game.
Yeah, I mean, I know that there were some players that, even when they win or when they lost, they would always just go back there just to kind of force themselves into that thought process, which is a good thing to have. And I think, what are we going right now? What is this matchup here? I just heard.
Winners finals.
Speaking of the next game, no, this is going to be another losers match. This is Feremuntrus and
RubberBeefMan. Okay.
We're gonna go back to winners finals after we get this losers.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Okay, there you go. And I think I mean, I know when he on Twitch and here on Smash, he's RubberBeefMan, but does he just go by RubberBeefMan?
He's never corrected me.
But you know, it's you know, it's Arturo is typing what we're saying.
Okay. I just because the thing is, I always feel bad if I say it wrong. So if I'm supposed to go rubber, then I have
said RubberBeefMan the whole time, and he's never corrected me. So if it's supposed to be incorrect, then he needs to let people know.
Oh, I'm not blaming you at all, Sabandeos.
Oh yeah, I just saw the bracket.
You are all good. You
guys said RubberBeefMan, so I was thinking literally.
Yeah. Spells it with 1 B. I don't know why.
Maybe there's a
if
different
he wants to be
RubberBeefMan.
pronounced a specific way, he can let us know.
Okay.
The results are in. RubberBeefMan. Man, I got shout-outs to RubberBeefMan because he's a relatively new player, and I appreciate the fact that we're still a game like this, which has been is getting pretty up there in terms of longevity. Is still getting new players and stuff. I appreciate that.
It's longevity and just the criminal underappreciatedness, right? Of it, just getting screwed over by the pandemic, obviously, and the world tour and stuff. I know it's a sore point to talk about and everything, but like, it happened, and
I've been around since SC4, and this has just been. I can't even say that I'm surprised. You know what I mean? Like it's just like, like SC5 got destroyed by the fact that Japan dealt with like the most expensive natural disaster ever in history.
Right.
And then, SC5 suffered greatly because of that, and then in SC6, not to mention
this is the franchise that's cursed, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting for me because I mean, people know from my streams, like this is actually the first Soulcalibur I've really gotten into, and it's like been like, man, where have I been this whole time? You know,
it's very similar for a lot of people. There are a lot of people who are very interested in this game, but it's not necessarily as popular as other fighting games in America at the very least. And so because it doesn't necessarily have that big scene, inherently people kind of steer clear of it just because they would much rather go with a more popular game. But for me, it's about the game. And I appreciate the fact that, like, Soulcalibur players definitely like Soulcalibur because we're not in it for the money. That's for goddamn sure. That is definitely not the case.
That's what people have told me, that I've started commentating this game because I'm looking for the money here.
Yeah, you sell out, James. You sell out.
Yeah.
That's what people have told me.
Trust me, guys. I know how much money he's going to be making on a commentary gig like this. It is nothing.
I know, guys. So
that's not why we're doing it.
Nobody does. Nobody makes anything, guys. That's why you guys have to support the Match Arena. Help these players get something.
Yeah, and one of the things that's really cool about this game to me too, you know, the PlayStation Tournament series really kind of emphasized this, but, you know, obviously as players we enjoy this, but honestly, this is one of the best spectator fighting games as well. Everything is very clear, it's exciting, the weaponry, the fact that all the characters fight so differently. So whenever you see a lot of the people who don't follow fighting games on the PlayStation Twitch, they're always like, what game is this? This looks really fun. Or someone would be like, yo, I bought this game a long time ago. Maybe I should bust this out again. You know, it's such, like, for me, you know, as a commentator, like Arturo could attest to this, you know, we're old, we're trying to grow the scene of the FGC entirely. You're always looking for this now blend of a game that's fun to play and good to watch. And the crazy part to me is I feel like this is one of the perfect games for that. So it always is kind of vexing to me that this game isn't more popular than it is, you know?
I have a whole host of reasons why I think this potentially isn't as popular of a game. I would also be remiss if we talked about this matchup not at all while it's happening. And so I just did want to mention that I believe RubberBeefMan did win the first game, and it looks like he's in a solid place of winning the first round of the next game. They decided to keep this incredibly neutral stage, and RubberBeefMan, I think, has been playing a defensive strategy throughout this entire match, and I think that's definitely a very smart way of playing a faster character that is not necessarily intuitive for a lot of people. They feel like, well, I'm the shorter range, faster character, I have to get in, and I have to press a lot of buttons, and consequences be damned. But you can play very defensive with a character, and just the threat of you being faster can a lot of times be enough.
Yeah, exactly. As long as they're scared of you pressing buttons in every situation, that's kind of a way to control the defensive side in and of itself. But Feremuntrus here with a great round, and thank you for keeping us on track here.
So I'm normally the other guy. I'm normally the guy, and again, I have lots to talk about with regards to what we were just mentioning, but I just, I have been slammed a lot of times in the past, just like, wow, there was you commentated an entire tournament, there was one match that you actually started talking about other stuff, like, you're a terrible commentator. I'm like, okay, dude, calm down.
Right. Alright, so back to this match here, and now RubberBeefMan is definitely being very aggressive. Not going to break this throw, and so now back against the wall, and they're in this corner right now where it's dangerous for both of them. You can see them jockeying for this the stage position.
Dude,
yeah, neither of them want. Yeah, you see right now.
He has to be, absolutely.
RubberBeefMan's like, oh no, you are not vacuuming me out of the ring at all. Spend the meter. There you go.
I feel like Feremuntrus went for the exact same thing that I feel effectively killed him during the Incendiate match as well, where he was like really hype. He had this opportunity. He got like this combo that provided him a curse, and then because he had the curse, it was even more obvious that he was going to go for something. Like, typically speaking, the way that he cashes out his curses for something that's big damage is off of a vertical, and it's too obvious to try and like deal with something like, especially when RubberBeefMan is in a situation where he can sidestep with 2-2B just naturally and then get a CE and win. Like, it's just it's too easy to spot.
Right.
You need to be okay with doing less committal stuff.
It's like the grappler syndrome, right? A lot of the times you can win around without ever landing a command throw. It's just the threat of the command throw makes people play, obviously, right? So once you get those two curses, that's just the threat. And if you cash it out right away, it's no longer a threat, right? So if you kind of hold on to it, it can be a lot scarier as a virtual threat than anything.
That's the pinnacle of the public service announcement in this tournament. Like, you don't necessarily have to use your best options all the time. Assuming that your opponent knows about them, he's dead.
No. Yeah, this is going right out there, but nicely done for Feremuntrus.
Yeah, that was just a straight up 50-50 after that GI. It's just like, you're either correct about the GI, and you A plus B, and then you're dead, or you decide to stay put, and he just goes for the lethal hit and kills you.
Right.
Going with the neutral state the whole time.
Alright, got one curse on there, but here comes RubberBeefMan now, trying to stay aggressive here. Sidestepping a lot, but nice little delayed vertical right there, was able to catch him after he finished the sidestepping.
Going with the two-way on block into wall rising B. Feremuntrus is going for a lot of like wackadoo stuff, and if there's a time to do it, it's in the last game of a set. So I appreciate the fact that he will go. That is the second time that he's gone for that. He did the exact same thing in the first round, and it also worked just splendidly like that. So like a lot of these like whiff into buttons that will provide him a lethal hit. There's a button on block into a lethal hit. Like,
right.
RubberBeefMan needs to figure some stuff out right now. He needs to get his life in order.
Yeah, well, that was a nice one right there with the crouch right under that horizontal. Got the big damage off of that, but that was only enough just to tie it up. And here we go. This is really scary. Big life lead. One hit with the soul charge active. Yeah. Feremuntrus now with 2-0. So RubberBeefMan's got to do something here. There's the GI. Stayed put this time.
He's got the bar. Honestly, I feel like just going back to the defensive game plan is the way to go. He's just been... So the problem is that the defensive game plan got kind of beat up, what with the fact that Feremuntrus was whiffing into another button, and RubberBeefMan was just sitting at this mid-range. That's not where you want to play defensively, because you don't have any options, and Feremuntrus has all of them, right? Man, this is practically over.
Well, I don't know. One launch into super, one launch into the critical edge. He's got this.
Yeah, or just super. You can always do that too. There it is. Oh, he had it.
Punished. Ah! Oh, nice.
I think both jump Bs at the end there were supposed to be 2-2Bs, and that sucks. Because both of them... I don't know what the first 2-2B would have killed, but it would have been awfully close because he would have been able to spend meter into it. RubberBeefMan can disagree with me if I'm off on that, but I'd be willing to bet all the money in my pockets that both of them were supposed to be 2-2Bs.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
I mean, that's one of my things right now. I think, like I said, I'm kind of new to this. It's new to the series in general. Man, my execution in this game is terrible. I keep...
Yeah.
I definitely keep missing a lot of those things.
Yeah, unfortunately, also, the buffer system in this iteration of Soulcalibur especially is awfully frustrating. It will give you inputs from a million years ago, and it is a very tough thing to deal with. It'll give you stuff from a million years ago, and it'll, like, store inputs from...
Yeah.
Like, there have been times where I will be pressing the B button, but I got counter hit out of it, and
This is Nowo versus Incendiate. Names are flipped.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, Incendiate's going to be the Xianghua player on the right. Nowo playing Mina on the left. I guess I can just assume that Nowo's going to stick with Mina the whole tournament. There's no reason to change at this point.
Yeah, and it might just be one of those things that, you know, he just wants to force himself to not jump back to Voldo or something like that. You know, I mean, that's the best way to know you can win with a character in clutch situations, to force yourself to play in clutch situations with them.
I do think that it is important to note that I don't think Incendiate has had to play this matchup so far in tournament today. Nowo did have to play against Lyonide earlier on. Yeah, it's going to be enough. So it's going to be a matter of if Nowo can try to kind of cool down exactly what Incendiate's going to be doing and see if he can do the same things that he was doing to Lyonide earlier on with a lot of like small moves to try and interrupt pressure strings. Incendiate with a fantastic block, and this is very quintessentially what I was talking about, where Incendiate is running up and is just blocking, and Nowo feels forced to make a decision and put himself at more minus frames on something that Incendiate's just blocking, right? And so, like, the threat of the faster character is just the name of the game here.
And there you saw it again. So the classic right there. We've seen Incendiate do that a bunch of times already. The micro crouch right under the throw into the super. Just raw super right. Oh, actually, it was the launch into the super, so. But Incendiate up now 2-0 here. And like I said, I always felt like I was kind of Nowo's lucky charm, but maybe that's not going to happen this time.
Ooh, he's in winners finals.
Oh, that's true. Actually, yeah, you're right. Okay, fair enough.
Working out relatively fine. Wow, that was an immediate tech crouch into the full crouch 3B to get away from that stand kick. That was pretty
That's
clutch.
right. Is this gonna be 3 out of 5, or is this a
yeah, this will be 3 out of 5. Yeah.
Okay.
Man, no, not even really able to do much with his soul charge. He ends up getting the 6-6A there. And those tiny hits, you see Incendiate just slow instead. Nah, it doesn't work out that time.
Yeah. Okay, so Noah getting on the board here.
No, trying to be as safe as humanly possible with regards to the moves he uses on block. You can tell that like he is now going for slower moves that he has in his kit in order to keep Incendiate from feeling like he can just run up and block. Potentially try to deal some of that guard damage too, that Mina is very well known for.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great round for Noah so far. It's been 20 seconds. He still hasn't taken any damage yet. Finally gets hit. Almost had a 20, 30-second perfect right there. In fact, that was the only damage he took that entire round. So, you know, Noah coming right back here. Tying it up and starting the round with a raw 3B. Let's just do it.
Yeah, he's doing a fantastic job of switching up his timings, because all of that was these little tiny hits that are specifically there to beat Incendiate trying to get in. Now Incendiate tries to challenge with a button of his own, and it's just like a straight-up stop sign just right in front of his face. But he does have the meter advantage, so he can get some of this chip damage going on, potentially get a mix. Then he has a bar to potentially beat Noah's 1 bar on top of it.
Right. Or just
Kind of almost dead, though.
Yeah, but actually launch into it would probably, well, definitely will kill at this point in time. So Noah gonna activate his soul charge. Oh yeah, got him with the low. Not quite enough to kill yet. Goes for the mid.
It's like 2 3Bs that he blocked. I could have sworn there was at least -12. Oh wow, ends up getting his 3B. Taking that. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I could have sworn that Mina's 3B was -12, but it doesn't. It gets blocked twice, and it's just. I guess it was just not something that Incendiate was expecting. It can be difficult because it looks very similar to Mina's wall rising B, which I believe is safe. So it's difficult to judge that sort of thing.
Yeah, Noah here now coming back 3 rounds straight, and you can see it. Maybe this is that situation we were talking about. Incendiate kind of leaving it on the menu for a second to try to gather himself, figure out what went wrong after that 2-0 lead. But again, Soulcalibur, you know, is one of those games that's just, it's played with so much emotion and heart, and it's about reading people. That's why momentum is such a thing in this game, I feel like.
Yeah.
It's
Especially in this iteration,
yeah, Noah picking up that momentum and taking those last 3 rounds. So 2-0 round lead usually it's not safe.
Yeah, it's really tough because this is a game, unlike a lot of other fighting games, this game doesn't really have combos, not in the same way that a lot of other games do, so it's a lot more neutral-based. So the characters in and of themselves have a lot more just sticky pokes when they're supposed to be aggressive characters, and it creates a lot of like this endless sea of pressure that you have to be right on, that you don't necessarily just get guaranteed simply because you did like a big old combo, you know?
That was nice right there, crouching right under the horizontals again. Incendiate showing that he's so willing to crouch under things. I've definitely seen more tech crouch punishes than I've seen sidesteps punishes from Incendiate, so see if Noah decides to maybe try to go for some more of those vertical mids. Well, it's not going to be enough to kill just yet. Well, even that kick was not enough to kill just yet.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah, with Guts, like, your 2Ks will do literally negative damage. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, a 2K, when the opponent's in yellow life, it actually provides them help.
Heals them.
Noah immediately deciding to spend Soul Charge to try and get out of there.
Yeah, but he's down 2 rounds to 0 again, so he has Incendiate right where he wants him at this point in time. Oh, there we go. There is the sidestep. I was just talking about that, maybe trying to go for some more of the verticals, but there's the sidestep. Punish. Gets the lethal hit now.
This is all Incendiate at the moment. This is just a matter of, like, Noah is trying to pressure with small buttons like this, assuming to try and, like, catch a sidestep or catch some sort of a backstep or something like that. Incendiate is just stopping his pressure cold sometimes and just allowing the situation to unfold. And Noah is going to inevitably be pressing a slower button, and there's not really much he can do about it.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if that was Noah crouching right there, or Noah had just decided to maybe try to attack or something and just got caught in that situation. Yeah. But Incendiate not going to let the comeback happen this time. So we're tied 1-1 here. So both games starting with Incendiate going up 2-0. Oof.
Fantastic. AutoGI immediately goes into a reset for a back grab. So this is the thing, is that Noah was just wrong about the times that he's being able to like press buttons. See, he tried to do something where it's like a frame advantage into a 2K, the immediate crouch grab, gets caught with a 2-2B on top of things. So he's wrong about all his ducks, he's wrong about all of his buttons. What he could potentially do is try to like block something and then use the opportunity to back up more and create more space. But that is obviously very dangerous in and of itself. But yeah, I don't know how you do it as a slower character. I normally play faster characters myself.
Here we go. Incendiate trying to get the pressure going right now. You should see stabbing away right now.
6B, 6B, 6B.
Yeah, Noah got the sidestep but didn't punish in time. But he is going to get the launch combo over here.
You know, he's getting a little bit of momentum. He's got like 2 3Bs so far this round. Incendiate getting a little bit obnoxious with some of his poking strategies, where it's like the second he chooses one move, he's just going to do it over and over again. Forces Noah to spend the soul charge.
Yeah, trying to get out of the corner position, and yeah, that's going to work out for him. So, but again, Incendiate did get him to spend that meter right there. Might not have been something that he necessarily. Oh, okay. Now Incendiate starts the round with the 3B. Yeah. Okay, I see how this is.
We've come full circle already.
Yeah.
It's trying to get out of there. It is important to note that probably one of Xianghua's main weaknesses is being able to try and like catch somebody backstepping. But the problem is that she does have an amazing tool in 6-6B for something like that. It's just kind of the only move that she has that can potentially try to catch somebody that way.
Yeah, just Incendiate right there, just giving himself plus frames all day with those break attacks. And Novo just eventually caving in, no health to deal with the mid-low mix-up.
Got that meter advantage, but you know he doesn't want to actually spend it. He feels forced to, which is a win in Incendiate's book in and of itself. Gets the glow. Okay. Ooh, that was an awesome call on the Crybaby. That was fantastic. The best punish for Crybaby I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, all the Xianghua haters are gonna clip that and just watch that as an animated GIF, stabbing her off the floor like that.
That's always the hypest thing you can do when you're playing against Xianghua, is really calling out Crybaby and punishing him hard for it.
Alright, but Incendiate sitting on a ton of meter and just chipping away slowly by slowly with these lows. Okay, there we go. The raw 3B again from Nowo.
Infinite 2K, shades of Soulcalibur IV Xianghua.
Gets the little small punish right there, activates the soul charge. It's trying to be a threat. Oh, here we go, the same way he won the last round, but the Crybaby catching him this time, but again, the low finishing it off, so Noah is going to go up 2-1.
That is very impressive. If I'm anything like Noah, I can't believe Incendiate did that Crybaby again. If I was Noah, I would have been livid, because like, I just called out your Crybaby to such a degree, and you seriously went for it again. But he was still able to get it with 3 lows. So important for Incendiate to remember that the way that Noah has been using his soul charge is by running in, not necessarily using the longer range break attack stuff, but just going in for the slower mix. Because Incendiate is playing so defensively, it's working out a lot better. So important for Incendiate to remember that.
Gets the launch again, gets the force block, trying to build up a little bit of that guard damage here. Perhaps
probably something we've seen very much so far is that guard damage.
Right. Hasn't really come into play, even though Mina is just like the best at dishing that out. But I mean, this is why, right? I mean, every time he has blocked anything, he doesn't block anything for like another 10 seconds. It's just always staying in the face. But again, another raw 3B. How many of these has Noah landed? Just the raw launch.
I think it's also just a matter of like, remember there was that one soul charge round where Noah had 2 of his 3Bs blocked and Incendiate didn't punish for the game, assuming I was correct that it was -12. So maybe Noah has just figured like, well, it doesn't really seem like my 3B is going to get punished, so I might as well just keep doing it, because it's a very long-range move. It's he's also getting a fantastic amount of these low blocks, and when Noah gets the opportunity for a wall rising punish, it's a really big deal. And see, this is effectively just what the whole game has turned into, just 3B, which is so difficult potentially to register that it's going to be punishable as opposed to wall rising B, you know?
That was crazy. And again, I mean, look, I mean, it's just gotten to the point right now where it is that situation where Incendiate's like, nah, you're going to switch to horizontals now because you've hit me with this so many times. You're not going to 3B again. And then sure enough, he 3Bs again.
Yeah, that no mix-up, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's going to be already safe. He's going to get a ring out here.
That's good for Incendiate here. Get himself a little bit of that momentum. Put a round on the board here. He's working for his own reverse 3-0 right now that Novo had in the first game.
Lets him know that he can still potentially get in there. Once he is in there, he'll be able to exert some level of pressure that's going to beat Novo and is going to make him panic. That is not... Oh, I guess it is.
Oh, okay.
I was under the impression that was saved. I apologize.
Alright, so
Okay,
that's
we're
good
gonna go
right
with
there. Incendiate, no, he can get that good damage right there. Goes for the throw. Nice tech. Quarter pocket right there on the legs. And then...
That Stan K and two-way stuff coming back from Noah.
Yeah. Going back to the small stuff, we haven't seen him swinging out those 3Bs as much. What a read! Is that... Oh.
Yeah, if you backstep a K, that for most of the cast, that is just effectively you get to do virtually whatever you want. Very smart punish. Noah's able to secure the game. Those 3Bs, huh? That was... So, in the original time that we saw him playing against Xianghua, he was doing a lot of the 2-waves and the stand Ks, and it was working out. And then Incendiate just kind of like... just started doing a lot of walk-up blocking and playing a little bit more of a defensive strategy. So Noah was like, what if I take the same strategy, but the moves I'm using are longer? Right. I just use those over and over again.
And actually, the craziest thing, too, was that, you know, like you had pointed out, he kind of went back to the 2As and such, you know, in that last round. He stopped going with the 3B, so... after hitting Incendiate like 2 or 3 rounds in a row with nothing but 3Bs all day, finally stopped it, and I think just Incendiate... Like, it's hard to believe he's going to stop at that point, you know?
Yeah, and it's always difficult to try and beat those kinds of players who adapt before you're able to, like, capitalize on it, you know what I mean? Where, like, they have a strategy that's working, and then you're like finally registering what they're doing, and so you're gonna do the counterplay. But before you even get any mileage out of the counterplay, they've already readapted and they've already gone back to their original strategy. Those kinds of players are always so frustrating because you're like, why would you change what you did? It was working.
Right. And I think you know, Saving DEUS doesn't really have to worry anymore. I think in future commentary, Noah will probably be paying my commentary fee because, I mean, maybe this good luck charm is working for him. He is in grand finals now.
Hold on. Was there a bribe
in the
involved
time when we realize it's been an inside job the whole time? Clip it and ship it, everybody in Twitch. This is the day.
Oh, man. There we go.
So we are going to loser semifinals with Word versus Feremuntrus now.
Yeah, so Word and Feremuntrus. This is going to determine who's going to go up against Incendiate, who we just saw go down to Noah.
Fantastic with punish. That's definitely going to be the name of the game with a long-range character like Ivy. Feremuntrus is potentially going to want to try and sit in that mid-range and try to get those like fantastic lethal hits.
Catch him sidestepping there.
There it is again, yep. 6BB is the name of the game right now.
Just gets the good damage into the force block right there.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
We're both like, it has begun.
We know what's coming. Oh, okay, nice sidestep there, yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I was expecting Word to go for like 3 throws in a row.
Somehow he would be able to like, he would do the input for the throw, and then he would get caught out of it, but during the throw he was inputting another throw. It's just ever the case.
He just got throw option selects into throws into throws.
He's using 2 controllers, one of them is just constantly buffering the command grab.
Oh my god.
It's how those old school Street Fighter games had those people who would do like the charge partitioning and like Third Strike. It's like you just have another guy doing the charge.
Right. Alright, well look at this right there. Word, yeah, is gonna take that route. Gets the GI, goes for the AB again, but this time Feremuntrus not hitting a button, not getting lethal hit this time.
Getting that command grab broken. Very important to try and set the tone for Feremuntrus really early that he's not going to be getting got by those big damage grabs, which will now force Word to go for the lesser kind of grab that can't be broken.
And there's the auto GI on that, on the soul, on the critical edge. Nobody looks at explosions in this game. There we go. Oh, ooh, again, the tech. Nicely done.
All about this soul charge. Heavy soul charge. It's going to force her to go. Wow, that jump kick had no hitbox. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that was nice on Word's part to just stay under there, but no punish off of it, unfortunately. Just checking away there with the small pokes here again, just a small little damage. Oh, dang! Just back to back, shoulder, shoulder, not close enough to get the ring out, though.
Man, woke up with the 6AA. He's gonna get a huge amount of damage here. Bam, bam. Oh, decided to go for the tech trap instead. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, that's not a ring out yet. Okay.
Okay, not close enough for the ring out, but here we go. Soul Charge activated. Has him against the wall, just kind of wants to get that pressure. Nice read on the backdash.
Yeah, that was
Word
pretty
here.
fantastic.
Yeah, coming in here, gets the plus frames on the break attack. Is going to be able to dodge the RE. RE safe. Gets the punish. Ties it up 2-2.
But now it is 1 bar to 2, so it's going to be a matter of, okay. Doesn't end up getting the Crimson Symphony break that time around. Oh, baits the grab with the full crouch 1B.
But then didn't get the combo off of that either.
Yeah, that stunk. Alright, Feremuntrus should be totally fine with this to, like, trade bar for bar, but he did end up eating some damage, so that kind of stinks. Oh, that was so close.
It was like 2 pixels off from getting grabbed.
So, okay, Feremuntrus has another bar. Oh, 6BB again. There are just certain moves where
actually
Ivy
goes
can't
for the
use
reset. Look at this, the reset working. Is this gonna kill? Not quite enough.
Oh, KK.
Didn't Feremuntrus finished another round exactly like that in his previous match, if I recall correctly?
Yeah,
exactly
the other time.
KK.
Yeah, other time it was 2B plus K, which starts as a low and then goes to a mid, as opposed to the high that then goes into the low.
Gotcha.
So it's like a pseudo mix-up. It's not a particularly good one. Oh.
I almost thought
Very
that was
ambitious with that.
out. Yeah. Oh, just the raw launch here.
You're dead. Don't get wrung out.
Yeah,
Yep,
that's why you see.
Yeah, gets out of dodge. He doesn't even care about this lethal hit, dude.
Yeah, he's like, whatever. I'm not gonna get reverse wrung out. I mean, if anything, Zas players would know all about stealing rounds with those reverse ring outs.
Hey-oh.
Right,
So.
He was like, yeah, I'm out of here.
I know your ways. Too close in order to get the rest of the combo. Ivy does have a bit of a meter advantage. Trying to 2-1-4B out of it. I gotta say, every time he's gone into the coil stance, Feremuntrus is RE. And I feel like Word needs to pick up on that. Surely there's some sort of a button that he has.
What was that interaction on the RE there? It just led to the command throw.
Yeah.
He sidestepped.
Zasalamel's reversal edge is incredibly slow, and so there's a handful of things that you can do to just kind of like get in between the gap.
Yep, trying to go for the lethal hit there.
Is he gonna want to try and spend the bar? No, he's not gonna get the opportunity to.
Okay.
But Zas has a lot of meter, but he is running into a lot of stuff like that, and he should stop doing that.
Goes for the double low. Goes for a GI as well. Trying to see if he can try to build a little bit of space here right now.
Oh. Oof! Putting himself in this weird frame situation, goes into the tech jump. Ivy has the tech jump of her own, significantly less impressive though.
Waking up with a tech jump though. Good call on that one. And here we go, Soul Charge to try to get the space. Again tries to go for the low command throw. Oh,
It's too much. Feremuntrus doing a lot of forward hops this tournament. I don't remember him doing this as like part of like his main strat. I guess this is just a thing he does now. Word has to get.
Probably started working early on. He's like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep doing this.
Yeah.
It's gotten me this far.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
Exactly. Here we go. And again, every single time I feel like Feremuntrus has activated the Soul Charge, Word has responded with his own Soul Charge. Now.
Word tried to challenge. Now he eats a huge amount of damage and occurs into a check jump. And he's not dead because the second hit was too far away. Wow, that was a little bit of spaghetti at the end there, but okay, there we go.
So Feremuntrus taking that one 1-0 now. This is loser semis, however, so this is back to 2 out of 3 if I'm not mistaken. So,
that's right.
This is gonna be 2 out of 3. So was that 2-0?
Yeah, that was 2-0. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that was 2-0. So Feremuntrus is through to the losers finals. Unfortunately, Word is out in 4th place. However, if I'm not mistaken, oh no, it's only payout to the top 3 right now. So Word is just gonna miss that. Speaking of the payout, 56 codes remaining. See if we can get any more in there. Shoutouts to Mugwump, by the way, for the direct contribution. He basically donated a pie to the Matcherino. Thank you very much. Dalanomus as well with the coupon code. Yeah, sorry, math humor. I just
He donated a pie. Like,
$3.14, man. Donated a pie to the tournament.
How many decimal places can you donate in Matcherino? Can you go 3.1415926?
No, it doesn't.
Dang, look at you. Okay.
I always have that problem because
I timed it out just
denomination.
perfectly, so that Sabin Days cut me off right at the end of the amount of digits I knew of pi, which made it seem like I knew a lot more, and I just, I got interrupted, so I can't say that, but really, I had to stop
Not happy
there.
about this. You out-nerded me, dude. Come on.
It was my plan the whole time. It's the only reason I got into Soulcalibur commentary. Goodbye, everybody.
Oh yeah, well, time for me to make more Star Wars references.
Make more Star Wars references? That's impossible, even for a computer.
Jesus.
There we go.
All right, you win. I'm done.
You go into my house. You go into my house and try to do this.
You're gonna apologize to Nowo. I'm gonna take off now. Your lucky charm is gone.
Next you're gonna tell me you're gonna try to out 80s music reference me. That dare you.
You're gonna take on me, take me on.
Heyo, there we go.
All right, back to the match. Back on track. Everybody in the chat's like, God, these nerds. Tell them to shut up, please.
Hey guys, if you're in a Twitch stream for Soulcalibur and you're like, man, I can't handle nerds, what's up with your life? What are you doing? You really got to pick one or the other.
Yeah, I'm gonna enter tournaments as Ivy and call myself Nerd instead of Nerd, so there you go.
But you have to spell it like N-O-R-D. That way that's like a little bit of a different thing, yeah.
That's close to me needing to deliver pizzas, you know, or try to steal pizzas, I should say. Steal pizza delivery, so
There you go.
Nord thing going here. Anyways, okay.
Okay.
Incendiate and Feremuntrus playing a match here.
This is the second time they played in this tournament. Feremuntrus got knocked in the losers by Incendiate earlier on, but he also didn't get the opportunity to play on the stage. In fact, I believe this is the first time we've seen this stage so far this tournament.
This is one of those stages that I always feel like comes up all the time, much to the chagrin of, much to the dismay, I should say, of players here.
I always mention it in the sense of tournaments have themed stages where there's like the randomized stager always decides on a few stages that we'll always get, and there's other ones that we'll never get.
Right. Here we go, dude. Good life lead here right now for Incendiate. Oh, actually, are the names back? The names are backwards, right?
Yeah. Incendiate's going to be Xianghua on the right, Feremuntrus, Zasalamel on the left. He ends up getting his second round. It looks like it's a little bit of a scrappy fight at the moment. Feremuntrus doing a little bit of that poking stuff that I was talking about before. That was working for Nowo as well. I just don't know if he's going to have the ability to adapt and put up like those longer moves that Mina was able to pull out in the last game.
Oh, nice. Yeah, just good spacing by Feremuntrus to avoid the running attack. Had the small punish, but here comes Incendiate now, tying up the life. Gets the stun, but then went for the throw, and nice escape by Feremuntrus.
Every once in a while, Incendiate gets a... Oh, is he going to challenge with it? Wow. That was a fantastic challenge. It's not really something that you see very often, is dealing with a CE after the opponent activates their freeze frame off of their orb.
You know, I just realized right now that Xianghua might be my favorite character to commentate right now, because now every time she lands a super, I just have to say, that's not going to kill, and if it does, she goes, just kidding. So, you know,
yeah.
She saves me every time.
Yeah. Fantastic stuff. Feremuntrus had the meter advantage coming into this last round. Doesn't punish the -14, that's real bad news. But okay, got a little bit of damage plus a curse, which is going to turn into a gigantic amount of damage.
Yeah, that felt like a lot of hesitancy from Incendiate. You saw him after Feremuntrus whiffed. He was just crouching there for just a little bit. Still has the opportunity to get in there, though, because he's got his meter for his own. Oh, no whiff punish!
It was so difficult to potentially whiff punish that. He ends up getting the round, but yeah, that was so difficult to whiff punish because it was it was AA, which for one, Feremuntrus probably wasn't expecting at that range, and for two, he can go with AAA or AAB, and you know how Soulcalibur hitboxes can be like, so you gotta be like mad hesitant to try and like whiff punish strings.
And it definitely looked like Incendiate was saving that bar for a launch into Super as opposed to going into the Soul Charge, because he did go out with that bar. Had a couple of times to activate the Soul Charge, had a few good gaps to do that, but just chose not to.
Okay, they ended up randomizing the stage, and I think what just happened, the reason why Feremuntrus was so hesitant there is because I think Feremuntrus is going to be like, you know, we can pick the stage again, because that's sometimes like something that people do.
Right,
like, yeah, my opponent clearly wanted a randomized stage, but we end up getting the same stage again, so why don't I do that? But I think Incendiate was like, no, we'll do it live.
And yeah, now maybe he's rethinking that
yeah.
decision. But like I said, I always joke that I feel like that there's one guy in Bandai Namco headquarters that is somehow monitoring every match, and when he's actually the stage randomizer, and so when he sees people randomize stages, he just intentionally gives them the same stage again just to make people mad. I swear.
He was a guy who got fired during Soulcalibur V, but he created the code that they still use, so he's just like in a janitor's closet in Bandai Namco, and like they can't find him. He's got a fireplace and he's twiddling his thumbs.
Oh man, and Feremuntrus here. I mean, again, this is losers finals now, right? So this is gonna be 3 out of 5. But Feremuntrus looks like he's trying to go up 2-0 in a dominant fashion here. Here we go, gonna get some extra damage off of that.
Yeah, doesn't fall for the tech trap.
Yeah. You see Feremuntrus again backing away, saying, you know what, let's get away from this ring out potential as long as I have the life lead here. So he walks back to the center of the stage. And again, you can see him moving back to the center of the stage constantly, being very cognizant of where they are on this square mesa here.
They need trying to play a significantly more defensive game plan. I think that's because Feremuntrus has gone to a strategy of whiffing something from far range into a button, very similar to like what Ivy will end up doing. That was supposed to be a soul attack.
No!
Oh boy.
That's not only gonna get you punished, but you lose that bar, and it's just like, man, nothing wants to go my way right now.
I think Feremuntrus has
okay, no time left. No time left. Oh no! Is that, yeah,
it is.
He got it. He got it. Feremuntrus got it at the last second.
He got like triple input error. I think what happened is that Incendiate realized that the time was going down. He gets a full crouch 3B, which he didn't expect to have hit. Then he thought to himself, what's the rest of the combo going to be like, because I'm too far away to get the regular combo? Okay, I was in the middle of inputting, let me just try to back up and win on time. And the combination of both of those options turned into the worst button that it could have possibly been. Yeesh, that is hard to swallow. Wow.
Yeah.
I appreciate the fact that Incendiate is just kind of trying to keep it cool. I'm going to check the other Discord that he might be in to see if he's complaining to anybody. Okay, he's not. I was just curious.
Yeah, I mean, I could imagine right now maybe sitting, cross-legged on the floor, pumping the hands down, breathing deep right now. Yeah. trying to get back into this here, because obviously he wants to try to get back into grand finals to try to get revenge against Nowo. But it looks like right now Feremuntrus is going to be the one to try to get into grand finals. He hasn't fought Nowo, so he wants his opportunity to be able to do that.
I don't know about you, but I always find that to be the more interesting version of grand finals, where it's like, if it's the same people who fought in winners finals, I mean, I guess the comeback story is kind of cool, but also I just like the idea of grand finals kind of being like a fresh match to potentially talk about. Otherwise, you got to talk about like all this history that they had with like the previous match, and you're seeing some kind of like weird options, because at this point they've probably played like 6 matches, and so things get weird. Here's another stage we haven't gotten at all this tournament, the laggiest stage in the game.
Laggiest? Oh, I didn't know that. Oh
yeah, well actually it might be 2B stage. But Halmaru's stage typically has the longest loading time of any stage, because I think they have to load like the new announcer too. I'm just speculating.
Oh, right. I mean, this is one of the stages I tend to pick a lot on training, so maybe I shouldn't.
I like it too. Aesthetically I like it. I also despise it because Amy's wall combos don't work on these walls at all, and
that's weird. Okay,
yes, it is. Okay. It's very frustrating. It's already lost me 2 tournament matches. Anyway.
I don't sense any bitterness. None at all.
No. A guy like me, I'm not known for being bitter in the Soulcalibur community. Why the fuck would I be doing that?
Oh man, trust me, I'm right there with you, man. Everybody knows about my temper, dude. Look at this comeback from Incendiate. Nice.
Hey, does anybody remember that I won the last major going into the World Tour and then it completely got shut down? Anyway. Feremuntrus versus Incendiate here.
It's your fault!
Yep, yeah,
you cursed it!
The world decided. Oh, Jay's going to succeed in the world? No, we're not doing that. Ooh, got the people hit.
I did like that comeback from Incendiate, though, because, you know, like we said, he lost the first 2 games pretty solidly, but then he was able to make that comeback, which is a nice sign of, you know, mental fortitude.
Yeah.
But look at this. And with so little health, with this little health, this should kill.
Yeah, it will. I feel confident. Yes.
Yeah,
but I gotta say, I hate to go back to it. Did anybody see the amount of damage that Feremuntrus got on that lethal hit combo? Since he had a curse, I'm pretty sure he was legitimately like 80% of a full health bar. Not a lot.
I mean, that's one of the things that I get frustrated because I feel like Killick's lethal hits should do a lot more damage. But yeah, lethal hit combos aren't like, you know, MK11 where you get one of those fatal blows and the guy just melts kind of thing. But some characters, they definitely get that.
It's a real shame you didn't play the character in earlier versions because Killick's stuff used to hit a lot harder, and they like nerfed it kind of into the ground. Oh yeah, that 4B like post GI lethal hit, like that used to be like, oh man, like this is significant damage, and now it's like I will take this all day.
Well, they nerfed that one, right? Because now you have to do the 6BB. Before you could do what was like the 66K into the launch combo and stuff. Yeah, so we definitely lost that damage there, but. Hashtag buff Killick. Anyways,
shout out to Party Wolf. I miss you.
There we go. And
immediately throwing him away. I really like that.
Okay, yeah, the run up and block, nice stuff. But then just getting caught right there. There's the range advantage that Zas is gonna have over Xianghua.
That was a hell of a tech crouch bet. He ended up getting for that combo.
Goes for the low. And tried to keep the pressure, tried to steal a turn after that kick, but Feremuntrus challenging, taking that, tying it up, and now he's at match point. So
but
even though
important to note, he does have a meter disadvantage. It is something that Incendiate could potentially work off of.
It's true.
He's trying to play very defensively. Gets a lot of good amount of damage here, but this is all going to be evened up now. No, it's not, because he charged it up instead of just letting it go.
He went for the charge, and so that let the combo drop. And now you've got a ton of meter here to maybe soul. Oh god, he got vacuumed in. Here we go. Yeah, just activate the soul charge, and now you can see it.
It's gonna be so tough. He's got to deal with
Got him.
I don't know if he's dead
enough
yet.
Not enough to kill.
Okay. If he's right about this RE, this could go real bad if he ends up getting the B lethal hit. Okay, he doesn't.
Yeah, but the guard break is getting in there now. He gets the whiff punish, but not a lot on that whiff punish. And then the low from Incendiate's gonna take this game and keep Incendiate in the match 2-1.
Yeah, I think Feremuntrus kind of hesitated on his whiff punish in that situation because any whiff punish he was going to potentially go for, that he would have the time for, would be a 2-hitter that drags Incendiate in and doesn't kill, and that means that Xianghua is in your face as a faster character than you are, and that's very scary, so it's like, oh, what do I punish with? 2-way the other way to... Feremuntrus having a tough time understanding where his opponent is.
Let's see, just playing very cautiously, Incendiate, a lot of step guards right there, just trying to see how Feremuntrus wants to react. Alright, good block on that. Gets him to use up the curse on the block. We've got another curse on him here. Gonna be able to get some decent damage off of this. God, did I say decent?
That is the wrong word. That is the wrong word. But unfortunately, just like the last game, he ends up kind of like pseudo-dropping it, and it creates this terrible Oki situation where Incendiate's just able to like power in and do something that's just too fast for Feremuntrus to handle. Oh wow, he just immediately just goes to the other edge of the screen, and now he's just sitting here. See, he doesn't want to deal with the fact that Feremuntrus is just like whipping and then like throwing out another long-range move. And, oh wow, what a backdash killer. Is he dead? I don't know. He's only got like all of his health bar, yeah.
Alright, here we go, trying to get that pressure, but now Incendiate now. with the opportunity. But now back into Feremuntrus' court. So yeah, the soul charge right here. Try to build that space. And you see him immediately backing away. Interesting. Incendiate,
I think he just
not
wanted it
pushing
as a
forward.
burst.
Yeah.
He just wanted it effectively just as a burst, and because, you know, Xianghua's Soul Charge not necessarily all that powerful, he drops the just frame that could have given him a ring.
Just a little too slow on that punish.
Oh, that's
and actually, that's gonna cost him. There's like maybe a couple frames, and that was beautiful on Incendiate's side. It was like, you know what? You know, there's that adage in fighting games when someone jumps at you and you throw a fireball, you might as well try to DP. Because if they kick you in time, there's nothing you can do. You know, might as well try to DP.
Fill
and
that
in that
gap,
situation, Incendiate was like, might as well try to GI. And it paid off in spades. And so Incendiate now on match point to tie this up 2-2.
Feel like they're being a little bit trolly now, so let's see. I mean, this is going to be so difficult. Feremuntrus can't even get hit by a crybaby. He does have a curse. He can mash just once and get a bar. So he could do things. It's just going to be so... Like, what do you do? Like, yeah, it's so difficult. You have to be right. You just have to be 100% right, and he would have had to have been right like 3 times in a row. Also, I gotta say, that 3B from the previous round, I gasped so loudly that I now have hiccups. So that's bad. That's bad as a commentator, but we'll just see if we can power through.
You know, for the commentary, you know, for the chat, I should say, you know, to answer CP Skills' question, that kick right there, unreactable low. But, I mean, if you have a Tekken background or just a 3D background in general, you know that unreactable lows generally are like chip damage. You just kind of accept that you're going to get hit by them a little bit. But the reactable lows are usually the one that lead to better Oki or to combos or, you know, higher damage, essentially. So, you know, it's kind of that little...
Yeah, like frame-wise, the unseeable lows are typically not all that great even on hit.
Right.
That's why the ones that are unseeable lows that are pretty good on hit are considered like some of the most powerful moves in the game, and it's typically where a character is kind of like centered around. Very similar to like Xianghua with 3A or something like that.
Yeah, I know when I first started learning Killick, I was like, 4A should be plus on hit, and everyone's like, no. And the longer I play this game, I understand now. I get it. Uh-oh, but look at this. We've said very few ring outs on the stage, but oh boy, they're so close. You both see them fighting for that position not to get wrung out. One more hit, and yes, the whiff on the first one. Maybe Incendiate tried to whiff punish it or something, but got clipped by the second hit.
I think it's just a matter of like he had already done like the wiggle stance, which will typically auto GI verts, and normally you don't really have to worry about a horizontal because none of them are going to be fast enough and long enough to catch there, but Zas doesn't necessarily have to worry about that with his AA range. Just immediately punches him for a curse. Feremuntrus is finding such interesting timings to find these small hits that are just enough to make Incendiate give pause to like what he's going to be doing. Alright, Soul Charge.
Decent damage off of that curse combo over there. I'm just going to call all of his combos decent damage from that.
Yeah, you might as well. That is not what you wanted. Oh, that's such a major flub. Incendiate saw that he was catching Feremuntrus out of 4-6B and tried to do a combo. Then he saw the RE, and instead of getting like a 2-2B or whatever, he got a 4-4B, and it completely killed that round for him. Jeez, I know Incendiate, and he is, you know, one of those guys who's just like, who's dealing with a situation, and you look over at them, and their eyes are incredibly focused, and they're just dead silent, and you know that there's like a panther in the room that you just can't interact with, or else,
rage.
Yeah, just like it's just gonna be nothing if you try to be like, hey, are you okay? And it's just gonna be like, shut up.
It's leave. The comic strip where the word bubble is just the black lines. And
yeah. Shout out to Garfield. I forgot about that.
Oh man!
Now he's just chasing him down with that 6
No one should be shouting out Garfield.
Well, not the movie, but the comic strip.
Anyway,
he's out. No, he's not. Oh man, if he just got that chest frame, he would have been out. I'm almost sure of it.
I mean, that previous round that previous round that Incendiate won, and this round kind of go with the narrative that he did have the Panther eyes going because they were pretty solid. He's tied it here, and it is final game. Final round to find out who's going to go up against No-Oh in Grand Finals. Here we go. And now back to the edge as well. Danger of the ring out. You see him trying to step to keep his back against the wall here. Activates the Soul Charge to put a little bit of fear into Feremuntrus, but again, you see Incendiate not pushing it.
I can't believe that Incendiate's just spent this entire Soul Charge not doing a single thing. He ends up removing the curse. So is he really just gonna stay here and just gonna like rely on this meter advantage? I guess he's potentially worried about that ring out as well. Yeah, both of them are just effectively just going for ring out the whole time.
Yeah,
now both of them have a bar.
So patient this round. Okay, gonna get the combo off of this. Is this enough to kill? Oh yeah.
Feel pretty confident about it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But yeah, that's definitely good.
Not gonna
Jeez,
kill.
I can't believe
not gonna kill,
that
not
choice.
Gonna kill. Just kidding. No, it's kidding.
Yeah. That choice from Incendiate to activate his one of two bars where he had that meter advantage and to just stand there for like the entirety of his own soul charge. That is a statement. To just look at your opponent as your own resources are just kind of dwindling and just being like, I'm gonna win this. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Even after that soul charge ended, the defense was crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, again, Nowo, that's the word I'm looking for from Nowo. Composure right there. After he, even after he let his soul charge drain, he just sat there and he was like, you know what? I can stay calm in this situation. I know that Feremuntrus is the one that has to get in on me because I have the life lead. And he just played it so well at the end there and finished it with the combo into the critical edge. And he reversed
3-0'd, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
he did.
Absolutely did. And again,
Kudos.
It's crazy because in a lot of other fighting games, I might be making a bigger deal out of it. But again, Soulcalibur, it happens more often, I feel like, me watching Soulcalibur matches than any other fighting game. Like that kind of round comeback situation.
Right.
Well,
especially now because we've played against each other so much now. That we know everybody's foibles and peccadillos. Like, the people who play in these kinds of tournaments are very similar to each other and have played against each other. Soulcalibur community being small kind of lends itself to a different level of meta than you would have in, say, like a Street Fighter kind of game, in the sense of, like, everybody has tech on everybody else. Not just the characters, but the people. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, what do I have to do to beat Maxi in this game? I don't have to beat Maxi. I have to beat these 3 Maxi players, the people who are good enough to potentially beat me, who play Maxi, and then I just try to figure out what to do against them, you know?
Yeah, I always called this late MVC2 situation,
Sure.
like late MVC2 status, where, during like the later days, obviously, hopefully there's more days in the future, hashtag free MVC2, but in the later days of MVC2, it was just like, you would see a tournament, like, and there would be like 40 people in the tournament, and you look at the list, and it's the same damn 40 people, and they're all so scary, Yep. It's kind of that situation.
That happens with any game, right?
Yeah, it's that end stage stuff. Those old, really old, like, SNK games that you can find on, like, things like Game HO and stuff like that, where it's like, there's only 20 people in the entire world that play this fighting game, but if you're gonna try to beat them, you better have 10 years on your just to try and figure out how to do this, because that's what these guys do, and they're the best at it, Yeah.
Speaking about being the best, let's quick. Just sorry to interrupt you guys, but we are on grand finals.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's show them the Matcherino, and let's hope, pray. Also, Art, you're muted in Discord, so if you're talking, we can't hear you. But any case.
Yeah, but shout outs to Cyber7,
Yeah,
to Ayo9, Frog Blog Dog, Frog, Frog Blog Dog Frog, John Nitty, the hot dog himself, Lazy Sunday, Mugwump with a couple of extra direct donations over here. So shout outs to Phoenix Fury X as well. Get Gray Fox Jack, VE Production. We've got Nox Denoctus. So shout outs to so shout outs to everybody for using those coupon codes and helping to support this event. We've got 46 coupon codes.
Yeah, guys, let's
Again,
go.
takes you 10 seconds. Maybe even less. My speed run, my PB was like 4 seconds of logging in and clicking that claim code button. So it's so easy to do. And by giving yourself a Matcherino account, you can support so many different fighting game events. So appreciate your help. Let's get some prize money to these guys. I mean, right now, it's going to be a 70-20-10 split, classic prize pool split. So let's get these players some more money for entertaining all of us here on a wonderful Friday night.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Appreciate it, everyone. So, as we said, we're going to go into grand finals. This is going to be NoWo versus Incendiate, and again, everybody who's watching, everybody who's donating, especially if you're donating your own money, or if you're just clicking the sponsor quest, we really do appreciate it because it does help us keep this free tournament going. We are a small game, but that's why we have to support each other and make it continuously worthwhile to have these weekly tournaments, or monthly, sorry. Speaking of which, so I'm going to tell them to get going, but here we go, grand finals.
Yep, and you can see right here, Incendiate starting from the curly bracket, L square bracket, loser's side, just my subtle way of letting somebody know that they've little small
the call out.
There. Not very subtle way of just being like, hey, fix that. But again, that just means Incendiate has to win 2 sets of 3 out of 5. First to send NoWo to losers, and then NoWo can be actually eliminated out of the tournament over there. So
this is especially going to be very difficult simply because this is kind of what I was going to say, is that NoWo has so many characters at his disposal to potentially just weird out a 3 out of 5. You know what I mean? He has such a big cushion, and I feel like big cushions with regards to characters is a very big help when you have a lot of games you can potentially lose. Because if he's just wrong, it's like if the Voldo is just not working, then it doesn't matter. Like, he loses a game, and it's like, okay, on to the next thing. He could try to play Mitsu. I don't think that Mitsu's a good idea against Xianghua, but hey, either way.
I mean, look, I was saying earlier, maybe he was going to stick with Seong the whole entire time just to, get used to play. I mean, he's played her in clutch situations, obviously, many times in the past. But, it's just good practice. But, now that nice dinner is on the line right here, he's like, nah, I'm going straight in with
now
my
the question
Voldo.
is Incendiate going to go with a different character? He's not. Okay. He has a variety of other characters. He could potentially try 2B. He could potentially try Talum. He could potentially try Tira, which I have seen him do before in situations like this. But okay, he's going to go with Xianghua, I guess, the whole time. I wonder if Ivy was ever a consideration, because frankly, I am surprised. He's been talking time and time again that he wanted Ivy to be one of the characters he got to play at NEC. He wanted to have 2 characters ready, but I don't know.
That's NoWo, you said, who was looking to the Ivy?
Incendiate has been trying to have Ivy and Xianghua 100% ready for NEC, which is coming up in not too much time, and I guess he's just decided no siree. He's just going to go with Xianghua the whole time.
Let's see if this change-up of characters does manage to throw Incendiate off his game, because Incendiate could have been coming in here after losing to NoWo thinking, okay, this is what I need to do to Seong, this is what I need to do, and then all of a sudden it's just a completely different character, and again, you can't get more of a different style between the 2 characters as well, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be slower, keep you out, Voldo's going to be in your face and troll you all day, and it's just like...
Well, see, that's the thing, is that I think Voldo is actually a pretty solid keep-out character as well, especially against a lesser range character in Xianghua. You have plenty of things that push back, kind of like the move that we just saw there. But the one thing that I will mention, that with regards to the stance mix-ups, like if you're in Mantis, I think that Mantis kind of blows when you're dealing with a character that has a crouch grab, and Xianghua has like the best crouch grab, so like that could be very scary potentially. But yeah, that 2-2A, Voldo's 2-2A is one of my favorite moves in the entire game.
I'll mention him again, shout-outs to him, but yeah, Manta just gets in my face and kills me, so,
Yeah, I don't know if you saw like how long ago that was, but it was NoWo versus Manta as a Voldo mirror match for grand finals of one of these things, and it was like night and day. They play very differently.
Gotcha, okay. Well, looks like NoWo here is going to get a ton of damage here. Probably not going to kill because of how much health he has, yeah.
Relatively good Oki here, yep, gets us hit. Yeah, that was going to be
for the low. Yep,
but yeah, NoWo plays a very kind of a straight Voldo. Like he doesn't necessarily do a lot of stance kind of stuff. Now watch, I say that. and then it's like the complete opposite. But I find that he relies on the fundamentals and pushback of the moves to create strong spacing in neutral situations a lot more often. And honestly, I feel like that's where Voldo excels in a lot of places. I mean, he doesn't excel at a whole lot. I feel like that's what he excels at.
I mean, I know, like, you know, people always say that Voldo's not considered a strong character, but man...
Voldo is not considered a strong character when compared to the rest of the cast, but he's for definitely sure a very powerful character just on paper with regards to what he can do.
Yeah, and another thing too, honestly, Voldo is one of those characters that can get in your head.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
So when the right player is using the character, yeah, then Voldo.
That's what his whole getup is about, is to get in your head.
Yeah.
He's not looking at it. It's just you.
Ooh, patience right there. Yeah. Both of them kind of staring each other down. Here we go. Swimming in there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Quite literally swimming in it. Yeah, I wasn't surprised at the amount. Voldo's Soul Charge, honestly, I think is an underrated thing. In terms of mix-up, it's not very strong. But in terms of just overall pressure, it is just one of those things where you just have to weather the storm continuously. Because if you try to potentially poke out of it, that's exactly what he wants you to try to do. He has enough frame advantage, and he gets so much damage when you're wrong that he's perfectly comfortable with you trying to take a bet. I really feel like the way to deal with Voldo's Soul Charge is just to like sit there and be like, I got him. I just have to like keep going.
Nowo here on the verge here. Remember, he's on the winner's side, so he only needs to win one set. He's got one in the books now.
Really gonna just be a matter of like a good amount of neutral and then just trying to get in there. One of the things that Voldo is terrible at is punishing -12, so very similar to Mina in that regard.
Yeah, but again, like you said, the way he plays is very fundamental based. I mean, this whole round has just been tiny little hits here and there, not pushing himself too crazy, and now just finishes it off with a throw because he sensed the deer in headlights from Incendiate. And so, yeah, Nowo just really chipping away with small little bits of damage here and there, and it is just... I feel like Incendiate has not been able to find a way to get in and stay consistently in.
It's so difficult because, like, a lot of these times where Incendiate is just kind of standing there blocking is simply because he knows that if Voldo, with the good pushback that he has on his moves, decides to, like, back up, the main thing that Voldo wants to do is trying to get a whip punish with the 666B, you know? And if he is able to do that, then that's like the whole ball game all the time. And so you end up, it's very similar to like Tira and Haomer, where it's just like, I'm just going to sit here and block because I know if I try to challenge with a button, there's a very good chance that I'm just going to get whip punch, which is like the main thing they want to do. So in turn, Voldo gets to just do like these little tiny things, which don't amount to much on their own, but are good enough to kind of keep somebody from doing, wow, what a fantastic wall rising there. That's so hard to do.
It's the mental damage, right? It's really just the mental damage.
Yeah.
I can't get in and poke, and they hurt more to the mind than they do to the actual characters.
It's kind of funny if you think about it, because like it's very similar to what Noah was doing with Mina. With like these little small things. It's actually kind of interesting. I'd be curious to know, other than, hey, I'm in winners, I get to do whatever I want, I wonder why he decided to go with Voldo as opposed to Mina, because he's playing against the same guy and with the same kind of style, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I like what we've seen from Incendiate in that last round over there. He kind of did the same thing, but from the offense side. Just small little pokes, not going for anything big, or no Hail Marys here. But there you go, plus frames again. And so you see Incendiate trying to stay defensive, but now Noah with the big down. Wow! Caught the lethal hit out of the air. Okay.
Yeah, that's out of the air. Noah kind of stuck in the corner there. I'm surprised we're not seeing the crouch grab. I feel like he tried it once and it just didn't really work. Okay, he's gonna... Now, it is important to note that back turn, Voldo is going to have that I-12C. Okay, fantastic. That's the other thing, it's just like, you can never really snowball pressure against Voldo, because his anti-Oki, with just the way he rolls and the way he can back roll out of stuff, is equivalent to, like, you have to simply be comfortable with the fact that you're just not getting Oki. Like, that's just the way it is.
Sorry. I have to stop being getting
yeah.
PTSD. Again, you're like, he rolls. Dude, I have missed so many meaty things, and roll
because
away
it's
and succeed.
It's just not meaty. Like, you just have to be comfortable with the fact, look, you can do one of two things against Voldo, and this has been the case for at least every game that I played against Voldo in. Number one, take the normal timing and spacing that you have and double it to try and catch a Voldo back rolling.
Right.
Or just be comfortable with the fact, like, yep, I got my hit, and now I'm leaving, and that's just the way it is. And that's just the way it is. Is he dead?
Oh, and he broke the fence. He broke the fence. Can he? Oh!
Oh, because it's Voldo, he can break back grabs.
He can
he got the hip
back
thrust with the auto GI beating the 2-2B. Wow, what an incredibly clutch ending. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you can't.
That's so funny. You can't necessarily back grab Voldo guaranteed, yo.
So that's a guaranteed back throw against everybody else, huh?
Not Astaroth, but yeah, I mean, you know, the characters that can't break back grabs, As far as I know, I mean, unless Incendiate wants to disagree with me or something. But yeah, that's a back grab guaranteed against characters that can't break back grabs.
That has got to be frustrating for Incendiate there. But again, see him taking a little bit of time. Maybe gonna try to change characters, or did he go? Yeah, just went to this different stage is what he's going for here.
Yeah, it kind of sucks when you feel like you have to switch stages when it's like a stage like that, because that's about as neutral of a stage as you can get. And it's not like Voldo is known for incredible. Frankly, he's not really known for incredible wall combos or ring outs. His ring outs are okay, I guess, but like, to have to switch just to get like some sort of a palate cleanser, you can potentially be worried about the fact that you might get like a really large stage where Voldo gets to back away the whole time.
Are you sure he doesn't have good wall combos? Man, every time I fight Manza, sorry I keep bringing him up.
Yeah, I might
every
be wrong, you know.
Every time I fight against him, it's always the tiny forest. Like every time. And I just get pounded against walls all day. Oh man, yeah. And that sounded wrong, especially since I'm talking about a GIMP. But, you know, anyways, back to this match over here.
An Italian one at that. Jeez.
Okay.
Nobody... Wow, I'm really surprised that 60 speed still caught. Because, again, like, Voldo walking back or Voldo just teching back is incredibly difficult to try and catch.
Yeah, this one, I mean, this is about as neutral-ish of a stage that you can get. I mean, it's just perfectly rectangle. 3 walls, 1 cliff edge, and that's it. So, Incendiate looking good so far, having a little bit more room to operate, I feel like.
Yeah, he's just kind of throwing buttons at times where, like, so, with all the pushback and everything that I've been talking about that Voldo does, Voldo is also not necessarily that fast of a character, so it's a situation where you can try to, like, throw a hitbox in somewhere, and if Voldo tries to be aggressive in that situation, even though he set it up correctly with regards to spacing, he's still too slow to try and beat out a really fast button from Xianghua, and I think that's kind of what's going on here.
Shoutouts, I just saw the notification at the bottom. Big Papa Chunk getting in there with the Matcherino codes. This is your last chance, guys. Get in there with those Matcherino codes. No-Wo could take this right now, right? He's up 2-0. Got the wall. Nice!
I think he's dead, dude. Yeah, he is. You can't... Wait, why'd you... Oh, okay. For a second there, I got the rounds confused, and I was like, dude, you just spent a bar for no reason.
No, he did it for style.
Yeah.
That's the important part right there. But
yeah,
not 2-0 anymore.
You cannot use RE against Xianghua. It's literally impossible. Not only is everything safe, but you can just straight up, on reaction, cancel your stance into one of the heaviest RE punishes known to man.
Oh yeah, okay. So, note to self, do not RE against
Don't do it.
Xianghua.
If you see 3A and you RE, you have sacrificed, I'm not even kidding, well over half your health bar. Don't do it, dude. You see AA and you just reversal edge, you're just like, well, on to the next round. Oh well.
Alright, well, a little bit larger stage here, but no walls.
Yeah, I'm honestly not sure who's more happy to see the ring outs in this situation. I'm really surprised we haven't seen him do any kind of crouch grabbing. Oh, that's out.
Oh, got him, yeah.
Yeah, he tried to like get up and sidestep or something. He ended up getting caught by the low. Incendiate kind of winning out with regards to like stage positioning right now. I feel like no one needs to kind of figure himself. He's getting like really good, like, you know, he'll use things like 3K to try and set up more spacing between him and Incendiate, but the stage positioning overall, once he's been backed up to the wall, is really kind of killing him.
Yeah, you can see that he's being affected, you know, trying to get away, or it's on his mind, which affects his neutral, and has given Incendiate the chance to take that. But There you go, Incendiate trying to make the comeback for this round. Going for a couple of lows. Again, a lot of lows right now, but there's that tech on the back throw again.
Oh man, Incendiate, are you really this clutch? Are you really gonna do this?
Oh, he did it! He did it!
That's so tough. Oh man, Noah's gotta be outside his mind. He was just wrong on a mid-low mix-up. I'm not even kidding, I think it was like 11 or 12 times. And then he just gets hit by a 3B, which is honestly a very non-committal 3B, because it's a -12, and with the fact that it has such a high range, Voldo can't do a whole lot about it. So it's just, oh man, hard to swallow for Noah there.
Again, it's just that situation again, right? You didn't need to go for anything big for that comeback. Incendiate really just getting small hits here and there. Oh, trying the crybaby, not gonna work. Drop him right down to the edge.
Please don't get oh, that's out.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, never mind. He didn't need to go out. He just killed him traditionally instead. He's got a bit of a meter lead, but again, the round disparity is going to be potentially the hard thing. I think no one just needs to stick to the kind of stuff that we're seeing here, where it's just like staying in the middle, trying to keep stage positioning out of it, and just doing a lot of these moves that push out so much on block. But now you're in this really bad situation here.
The meter disparity is not even necessarily there because obviously if Noah wins, Incendiate gets another free meter, right? So
yeah.
I'll tell you right now, curse Guilty Gear Strive the way they do the round count because it's made me it's messed up my brain in every other game now. So there you go.
I don't get how people play multiple games, like how people like Jaywong or Sonic Fox actually are like top competitors in multiple games at the same time. My friend who plays multiple versions of Smash competitively will try to just have something like a palate cleanser in between like a melee match and a Smash ultimate match. Like it's so difficult.
Back in the day, I mean, like at like B4, B5, it was like B4 and B5. Like Vi and John Choi would go from Alpha 2 to Alpha 3, literally the same sprites, literally the same graphics,
but a totally different kind of idea.
Dude, I don't know how they do it, dude. Like it's impossible for me. I'll play Street Fighter 4, go to Super Turbo, and try to throw with jab and short. You know, it's like it's just I can't do it. I went from Mortal Kombat 9 to Marvel, and I kept trying to hold the block button, you know?
Back in SE4, in the beginning of SE5, I was doing a little bit of Street Fighter 4 and a teeny tiny eensy-weensy bit of Marvel that I had no execution for, and Soulcalibur, and yeah, it just was... it was such a slog to just kind of realize the kind of speeds that I'm playing at, the buttons that I'm playing at, like, you know, the fastest move in this game is 10 frames. Versus Street Fighter, it's just like, how do you, man, oh man.
And also, by the way, no woe switching now.
Yep, yeah, that's right.
Rip Voldo back to the Seong Mina, taking that first round. So again, this is kind of one of those strategies, right? You know, Seong Mina won you the match last time. You throw in a different character, you can get a win here or there to kind of throw off the pace and what Incendiate's expecting, and then you go back to the Seong Mina. And yeah, it can catch players off guard like that.
Especially if you only need one game. I mean, that's a fantastic thing to do when it's like you set it up to where like you are in the left. You're dead, dude. You're straight up dead.
He just did it raw. He just did it raw.
Oh man, Jordan, you are a bad person. You are a mean person for that.
Every time I get hit by those on my stream, all you ever hear from me is, "You really just did that?" And then it's just like salt everywhere.
I-12CE, dude. I guess, I mean, he had the time. I don't know. I'm trying to like give him an out, but it made me very upset to see that. Kudos for Noah not allowing it to like affect his gameplay at the very least.
And then Noah trying to look like he tried to stab the Crybaby again. Not this time. Is the Crybaby always punishable on hit like that? I always see people just like kick it afterwards.
On hit, no. Okay. On block it is, but not on hit. Assuming you have a move that hits grounded that fast.
Right. Oh, nice!
No!
Oh, no! You were gonna die because of... No, wait!
What happened? I put my head in my hands. How did he not die?
He didn't finish the combo. He just didn't finish it.
Oh, God. Spaghetti, pasta, lasagna. Boy.
Oh my goodness.
You can definitely tell it's really late. You can definitely tell that the players are tired and irritated with each other.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, if you're Incendiate, you're just like, come on, like, he gifted that to me.
Well, if I'm Incendiate, and I've been in those situations before, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to bother it so much because he also dropped it, so tit for tat.
Yeah.
I mean, lost the round before, so okay.
People have asked me that before, you know, as advice, like, how do you get over a massive drop like that or something like that? And I'm just like, dude, it happens both ways, you know. In the grand scheme of the universe, it balances itself out.
And that it just happened there too, where Noah ended up dropping the combo. I don't think it would have killed; it would have come very close though. Incendiate with the taunt. Neither of these players are getting all the buttons they want. They're having a tough time.
It's just a man. Are we playing that? Because it is
just one of those slot matches now.
It's tournament or reset point.
Yeah.
At this time.
Nice duck. He gets the full lethal. Does he get the combo though? It's not necessarily guaranteed anymore. Does not get the wall that he was hoping for. So now it's going to be a matter of like trying to get away from this ring edge. Demon's pressure.
Life lead. Incendiate now has to get another one of these crazy comebacks. He's going to start here. Oh, he got the punish. Okay.
Yeah, it's a punish.
This is a good start.
We go into... What are we going to do? But he gets a fantastic piece of Yoki here. Yeah, tried to catch the soul charge. That's why you end up going for that. So now, is Incendiate really this clutch? So far he is. Tried to go for the wall hit. It didn't work out. The 2K whips. Oh, he gets a pressure. No, he doesn't. He caught us. Oh, wow.
And the 2P is going to take... Oh, there you go.
What an interesting choice to try and catch that stance, that hyper ultra tech crouches. Oh, man.
And there you go. Nowo is the NYC Caliber champion for October. Congratulations to Nowo once again. And like I said, I feel like I'm his lucky charm. I feel like I say this a lot. But congratulations to Nowo. Good job. And nicely done in that last match. Again, I really feel like that Voldo to back to Xianghua probably actually had a lot more impact than we expected, than we might think.
Yeah, I wouldn't have expected. I honestly thought that because the styles were similar, I didn't think it was gonna go the way that it was going. But getting those two first games like right away in a slightly more awkward stance-related style that's very effectively the same as Mina, and then to switch back to Mina at the very end, man. That was some a lot of spaghetti from both players, but it ended up working out at least for one person.
And shout outs also to Citizen Lawless with the almost the $30 donation there.
Thank you so much.
The prize pool up to over 100. And actually, we just got another $10 donation from Dowding as well. So we are now up to $111. And again, that's a 70, 20, 10 split. So that means that's over $70 now for Nowo. So I joked about a nice little dinner here, but now it's a nice dinner for two.
Yeah, there you go.
That he's got there.
You got a date night.
We do have 36 codes remaining, however, so if you just tuned in and you just came in here, don't leave just yet. Please jump into Matcherino, claim that coupon code over there, and let's get these players, especially, you know, if you are a fan of Nowo and all the players who have played in this tournament, especially the top three here, Feremuntrus in third place, Incendiate in second place. Every little bit that you donate at this point adds a little bit to the pot for them as well. So I see again with Mugwump with another little 41-cent direct contribution. Hey, what's up, RTS Wrangle, using the coupon code over there. Nelly with the coupon codes as well. Hassium, Icy, Onslaught. So shout outs to everybody. It's not too late. Let's get those in there. But again, shout outs to Matcherino. This will be direct money in the hands of the players in less than a day. So that's really, really cool.
Yeah, we really do appreciate it. I'm not going to finalize anything yet, so you still have some time to put that money in and click that claim code. And you know, thank you very much for everyone who has already donated and everyone who came to watch. And everybody who continues to enter and keep Soulcalibur alive, especially with, you know, our support from Bandai Namco and Tenno running the dojo stuff. Incendiate's definitely going to enjoy his T-shirt. And everybody, thank you for coming. James and JJJ for commentating.
And about playing, of course.
Of course, and of course EP, who's off at his local, hopefully winning. I really do appreciate you guys coming in. You know, especially like it's sort of short notice at this point.
Yeah, thank you guys.
What is the Soulcalibur Dojo shirt? What does it look like?
They're actually, I believe they're doing a different one per month up until like December or something.
That's cool. Okay.
So like the top, it's going to be like the top score for each month, if I recall correctly. Hey, Chunk is in chat, and he can tell us about the shirt that he got as a top organizer.
Okay.
Top organizer. Let's go.
Yeah.
Nice.
For NA West, he's the top number one.
Yeah.
So yeah, everyone, really do appreciate it. And James and JJJ, do you want to say anything to sign off?
I'll just shamelessly plug that I play I do the SoulCal distancing every Monday night for Parsec casuals. It's a fun environment, even if you play or don't play. I mean, I see some people in the chat that just come by and hang out and chat with everybody a lot of the time. So it's just a very relaxed environment, except for me, where you hear me cursing and complaining about how bad Killick is the entire night. But outside of that, it's a very relaxed environment.
And speaking of cursing and complaining, follow me on twitch.tv/Sinbad. Over this past month, we recently had a vote for which character I was going to get to S rank next, and the vote went to Ivy, and I despise it, and I hate the character, and I don't like it at all, and I wish it would stop. But I'm doing it, and that's the thing that I'm doing, and hopefully not for much longer. But if you want to see that, check me out there.
Awesome. Yeah. I should mention mine is on twitch.tv/jchenzor as well. So there you go. But other than that, even if you watch us or play with us or not, keep playing Soulcalibur out there, man, and keep watching it as well. Like I said, I mean it when I say I think it's one of the most fun fighting games to watch. It's flashy, but also it's very clear what's happening. Like it's very understandable, and I think that's really cool about the game.
There are these neutral situations that I find you don't necessarily find a lot in other fighting games, or it's a little bit simpler in other fighting games because this one is 3D and there aren't really those heavily strong combos, so it's all about like those situations where somebody runs up to another person, or maybe there's like a weird frame situation and it's like who knows what's going to happen, the next person who presses a button is probably going to win, or are they, a lot of that kind of stuff. You get that in Soulcalibur so much more often, I find, than other fighting games. And come check out NEC, because for the longest time, NEC has been the EBO for Soulcalibur, and that's undoubtedly going to be the same case here, where everybody decides to go.
3 weeks.
Shout out to Big E. He's always been very supportive of the Soulcalibur community.
I got to see him at ECT for the first time in a while. So yeah, I'm glad to see he's still kicking. Yeah.
Nice.
All right, guys.
Thank all of you. Thank you, JJJ. Thanks, Ian. Thanks, James.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna head back to 480 Hertz World and play some Street Fighter, Guilty Gear, and Fightcade. Did you get to check out Flycast yet, James? By the way.
I have not actually. Myself and Olaf want to start trying to set up some KOF 11 tournaments. So,
dude,
if you have some advice for us,
I mean, like, there's no advice except download it and try it. Like, I was trying the offline mode on the emulator to make sure everything was okay, and like it felt pretty good. It felt really good. Like, because they've been working on it for a while, because they had the rollback, but then the emulator had some delay. Now it's pretty good.
Right. Okay, for sure. Yeah, and I know people have some guides out there. I know Silent Scope has a good guide out there and everything like that, so shouldn't be hard for me to set that up.
I gotta check out that Guilty Gear patch too, because there's been a lot of changes.
Yeah, I checked that out last night. So I did a DGen hour stream checking that out. So
nice. There's just so many good games on now.
Dude, it's crazy.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I think like we're like in the second fighting game renaissance, James.
I mean, every time people ask me what the golden age of the FGC is, I always say right now. It keeps getting better. So as a person who loves fighting games and wants to play a lot of them, it sucks for me, but honestly, it's a good problem to have. So I mean, it's a good problem to have.
You don't need to look further than like the Steam numbers on a new Melty Blood iteration.
That was crazy.
To think that we're in a fighting game right now, you know?
It's so great.
Well, like as you recognize players less and less, that's how you know you're in a renaissance. I'm starting to like just go on Twitter, all these anime avatars. I have no idea who they are. Just saying, it's like a new generation of players.
I mean, not to like get into the story mode, old man ranting, but I still remember Evo 2008. I felt like I knew everybody at Evo. Yeah. And then 2009 came around with Street Fighter 4. Yeah, and it was like, who are all these people? And it made me happy. I was happy about this. Happy to see that. I'd rather not know most of the faces because that means more people are showing up. So.
Yep. No, but thank you guys so much again. Appreciate you guys.
All right.
Thanks very much for having us.
We're gonna sign off. Everyone, have a good night.
Yeah, have a good night.
See you next time.
Yep. See you soon. Alright guys, so